What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore here, Fiore's Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube.com. I know I sent something like this same title and thumbnail earlier, but then it said like chat disconnected, and then I had to restart a new one. But anyways, this is your video. Nick Fiore, Fiore's Nation YouTube channel, on YouTube. This is the video for the reviews for NXT and AEW Dynamite for both shows this past Wednesday, March 3rd of 2021. Also the same video right here. The review from NXT UK this past Thursday on the WWE Network on March 4th, the very next day, this past Thursday. And the same video right here. The preview and predictions video right here on the channel for AEW Revolution 2021 tomorrow night in Jacksonville, Florida. The first pay-per-view for AEW for 2021. Should be a good show tomorrow. Talk about that in a little while. I know, like I was supposed to do this at 7 an hour ago and such, but shit got in the way. Having dinner and just traffic and all. I was trying to rush and get dinner. I was hoping to get, because I ordered Chinese food for dinner tonight and a Chinese restaurant in Poughkeepsie, New York. I tried to rush there and get back home, have dinner real quick to get this in, start this at 7 an hour ago, but I ran out of time. So figured I'd have it like right here at 8 o'clock, and then the shit ran. Then I ran into shit with the chat disconnected because my internet crashed the other day, a few days ago, before I got the internet back, and then that fucked up the original live stream here for this video right here. But so I had to make a new one and start over again, which was frustrating. So I apologize on that. And all this other shit. So I just thought I'd get that off my chest. So, and then tomorrow, Adam and I will be Monday Night Raw, and this will be pre-recorded. I must warn you, this will be pre-recorded and uploaded later on in the day tomorrow. Adam and I will be reviewing Raw from last week and SmackDown from and all. The SmackDown review from this past Friday, that should be up as well soon. So look out for that and all. And I thought I'd say that I will, and such and such. So just to get that shit out of the way. And I also have for this very video here, and I'm gonna start off the video. Oh, super chat. Dylan Ketchum, what's up, Nicholas? How are you doing? Doing well, Dylan. I want to say what's up and how you doing. I checked out your SmackDown review from last night a little while ago. I did check that out. Yep. And we got a lot of shit to go over here with this video here, not just for NXT and NXT UK and Dynamite and Revolution, but I might as well start off the video here with this, and this is some big news. They announced this on Tuesday without NXT or WWE saying anything yet. And this is what I've been hoping for, and this is what a lot of people have been hoping for about at least a year now. And I was hoping they'd do this, and it looks like it's a reality. And there was some news stuff from Ringside News and all from this past Tuesday afternoon. And it's all but confirmed. The WWE and NXT just have to announce it, which should be soon. And I might as well start it off right here with this very video right here on the channel. NXT reportedly moving to Tuesday nights. Yes, NXT reportedly moving to Tuesday nights starting Tuesday, April 13th of 2021. That would be the Tuesday after WrestleMania 37. So this is from Ringside News. The WWE brought NXT to the USA Network, even rushing to get on air 2 weeks prior to AEW Dynamite back from late 2019 and the fall of 2019. And then the Wednesday Night Wars started. Now they are reportedly, and now the quote, Wednesday Night Wars are now reportedly coming to an end. The Mat Men Pro Wrestling podcast reported, the Mat Men Pro Wrestling podcast reported that a very reliable source has said that the WWE is moving NXT to Tuesday nights. This will reportedly start on April 13th. Hearing from Spectrum Sports 360's John Alba also tweeted in response to the post. He used eyeball emojis as if to indicate that fans should take notice of it. It was also noted if NXT will be on the USA. It was not noted, however, if NXT would still be on the USA Network. They could, however, find their way onto Peacock, with WWE in the new Peacock deal, with Fastlane in a few weeks, March 21st on Sunday in a few weeks. We'll be on Peacock and the WWE Network, and then WrestleMania 2-night event, just WrestleMania, will obviously be on Peacock and all. So it wasn't. So the news. So back to the news article. It was not noted if NXT would still be on USA Network, but they could find their way onto Peacock. We will continue monitoring the situation as more information is made known. Also, Mat Men Pro Wrestling Podcast also tweeted out, hearing from a reliable source that NXT will be moving to Tuesday starting April 13th of 2021. An announcement should be made fairly soon. And also shortly after this, it was also said NXT to Tuesdays is pretty much a done deal. Announcement should be coming fairly soon. NXT to Tuesdays, good move. Good move. NXT to Tuesdays, good. The Wednesday Night Wars coming to an end reportedly. Thank God. NXT to Tuesdays is legit the best thing for them. And I've said this for weeks, months. I've said this for a while now, a long while now. NXT is dead, and they will be dead as long as they're on Wednesdays, the same night as AEW Dynamite. And I've said it for weeks and months. If NXT was on Tuesdays, I bet you people would fucking watch. I've said it for weeks and months like a broken fucking record. Like constant. If NXT was off Wednesdays and on Tuesdays, Thursdays, I would prefer Tuesdays. If NXT was on Tuesdays, I guarantee you, and I bet you people would watch NXT again. It wouldn't be as dead, if not at all. And people would fucking watch, and NXT would grow again. People would probably watch again. NXT to Tuesdays is legitimately the best thing for them. Who's going to watch 2 wrestling shows on one night? No one. This isn't 1990s anymore. We're in a different day and age now. This is 2021. The times have changed. No one wants to watch 2 wrestling shows on one night. And I watch AEW and NXT every Wednesday. I watch them both every Wednesday. And it's hard. It's really hard and I don't even have 2 TVs. I only have one. And I watch NXT on my TV. And at the same time, I have AEW Dynamite on my phone, live on the TNT app on my cell phone, on my iPhone. And watching both shows on a Wednesday, it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I'm glad NXT is moving over to Tuesdays. Like I've said, I'm going to say it again, legit the best thing for them. Because with NXT on Wednesdays, it's just counter-programming AEW, etc., etc. And now that NXT is reportedly going to Tuesdays, which is good, NXT can now grow. AEW can grow. NXT to Tuesdays, it's not only the thing for NXT, it's the best thing for AEW as well. This is legit a win-win situation. Everybody wins here. NXT can grow, and AEW can grow. And now AEW can get over 1 million viewers. Oh, but that won't happen, man. It will. Watch. And watch them get over 1 million viewers and watch them get close to Monday Night Raw ratings. Watch that happen. It's coming. It's coming. Speaking of Raw ratings, the Raw rating went out for this past Monday night, even when Bobby Lashley winning the WWE title this past Monday night on Raw. Raw this past Monday for the ratings got a 1.8. A 1.8. So even with Lashley winning, the Raw ratings still fucking suck. And it's not even Bobby Lashley's fault. It's not even his fault. Raw Monday Night Raw and their ratings are an absolute fucking shambles. They're in the shithole right now. Legitimately. And AEW reaching 1 million viewers, over 1 million viewers, it'll happen eventually. That might not be in a few weeks, but over time. But in a while, they will. They will. NXT to Tuesdays not only makes NXT grow, but it makes AEW grow as well. AEW can now get over 1 million viewers. NXT, they'll probably reach now like what? 800,000, 900,000, close to 1 million viewers, if that. I cannot say this enough times that NXT at Tuesdays is literally the best move they can make for NXT. And NXT at Tuesdays is a legit thing, the best for them. And if you don't see that, then you're not a true wrestling fan. If you don't see that, open your eyes. I have fucking said this for how long now? I've said this for God knows how long. Move NXT to Tuesdays. I bet you people would watch that fucking show again. Because no one's going to watch NXT on Wednesdays as long as they're on the same night as AEW on Wednesdays with Dynamite. Because it's like AEW, it's like AEW on Wednesdays. It's like people are watching that more so than NXT on a Wednesday. Then they watch NXT the next day on Thursday. And it's like Vince, it's like trying to get his hands on NXT to try it on Wednesdays to try and counter AEW. Oh, but Vince didn't book them. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Now, I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you. NXT's been all business. Like, ever since the start of 2021, NXT's gotten better and they've been all business for this year of 2021. But NXT needs to be on a different night so they can fucking grow. So NXT can grow, so Dynamite can grow, and so NXT can grow. Legitimately. And will they do very less counter programming? I don't know, but see what happens. But NXT on Tuesdays, I cannot stress it enough. It's the best thing for the NXT brand. And also it's like I even heard a conference call last August and all. Triple H and NXT, they don't even want to compete with AEW. They don't even want to compete with them. This was all Vince McMahon and his fucking ego because Vince McMahon despises AEW. Oh, but Vince and Monday Night Raw and the writers and Vince and Kevin Dunn and Bruce Pritchard, they're not afraid of AEW. Motherfucker, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Then why is Matt Riddle the US champion right now on Monday Night Raw? All of a sudden, AEW effect. AEW effect. Oh, but it's not the AEW effect, man. Not everything is the AEW effect, man. Everything is the AEW effect. When will something not be AEW effect, man? Clown. Everything is the AEW effect. And if you don't see that, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Triple H and NXT, they didn't even want to compete with AEW in the first place. It was even said in a conference call last August. Even Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's title last year at WrestleMania 36. Rhea Ripley was supposed to retain and go over. Who didn't want that? Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, the Raw writers, and Charlotte Flair. Because God forbid Charlotte loses because Charlotte hates putting people over. And I can't stand Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair, selfish and spoiled brat who's handed everything on a silver fucking platter. I can't stand Charlotte and the agenda. It's absolutely fucking nauseating, if you ask me. Anyways, getting back to the NXT to Tuesdays thing. So they're moving, so NXT is reportedly moving to Tuesday starting April 13th. That is the Tuesday, folks, after WrestleMania 37 in Tampa, the Raymond James Stadium. Now, they also said that, speaking with link to all this, they also had on Twitter, a Twitter photo, WWE Network hyping up an NXT TakeOver reportedly on April 8th. That would be the Thursday before WrestleMania 37, with WrestleMania 37 a two-night event on Saturday, April 10th and Sunday, April 11th. An NXT TakeOver reportedly on Thursday, April 8th. I'm not sure if I'm really in favor of that. I don't know if maybe the reason they're doing it is maybe they want to do it like before they're going off, right before they're going to Tuesday, start it off with a bang before they're on the Tuesday, April 13th. They start that off officially with a bang. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors of NXT TakeOver in early April. I'm hearing rumors of the two-night event. I'm not really in favor of that. Let me know what you guys think on that. But even with the April 8th TakeOver reportedly, it hasn't even been announced yet. I not really in favor of that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think on that. But legit, NXT off Wednesdays and on to Tuesdays. This will get people to watch, and I've said it for weeks. I've said it for fucking weeks. AEW pretty much took over. They pretty much took over Wednesdays in the fall of 2019. Pretty much, for originally NXT Wednesdays was the home of NXT when they were on the WWE Network, but then AEW came around, and then the late fall of 2019, Dynamite on Wednesdays, they pretty much took over Wednesdays was Dynamite pretty much, and Vince wanted NXT to be on Wednesdays, and Vince wanted NXT to compete with AEW because Vince doesn't want AEW to reach the viewers of Monday Night Raw level. Vince didn't want that. And then I remember NXT in the fall of 2020. It was September 2020 with NXT. 2 weeks they were on a Tuesday. The 2 weeks they were on Tuesdays was NXT in September of 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they get higher viewers those 2 Tuesdays from September last year? High ratings with those 2 Tuesdays from the fall of last year in September. High ratings with those 2 Tuesdays than they were on Wednesdays. They got higher ratings on the 2 Tuesdays last September than they ever did with the Wednesday ratings that they got against the same night as AEW Dynamite. USA Network even wanted, I heard. They even wanted NXT also on Tuesdays and not even Wednesdays as well, USA Network. And I'm sure Triple H and NXT probably wanted that too. But who didn't want that? Vince McMahon. Because Vince McMahon is afraid of AEW. Oh, but Vinnie Mac and Bruce Pritchard and Kevin Dunn and Monday Night Raw and the writers over there on Monday Night Raw, they're not afraid of that T-shirt pissant company. They're not afraid of AEW, man. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, folks. The fear is real. The fear is real. You don't see that. Wake up. Wake up. Anyhow, so NXT to Tuesdays. I might have to dedicate. With the reviews here on the channel for NXT, and since NXT is reportedly now on Tuesdays now, reportedly, announcement should be coming soon. Since that's reportedly right now, for Tuesday nights right after NXT, I might have to do NXT live here in the channel on Tuesdays right after NXT. Since they're reportedly moving to Tuesdays, Dynamite live on Wednesdays right after Dynamite the same night as Wednesday night. So might have to do that after this announcement with NXT reportedly moving to Tuesdays. And legit, this news thing with NXT reportedly to Tuesdays, legit the best news I heard all day this past Tuesday. I can't say this enough times. This is the best. This is the fucking best thing for them. It is. Triple H and NXT, they didn't even want to compete with AEW. It was even said in a conference call last August. It was. And the Wednesday Night Wars and the quote ratings from Brian Alvarez. Do the ratings even matter? On the ratings. Do the ratings even matter at this point with Dynamite and NXT? And here's the thing with AEW and NXT, you're allowed to like both, you know. If you like both, that's your right. I'm not going to come on here and bash you. I'm not going to bash you. I'm not going to bash you for like, if you like, I'm not going to bash you if you like NXT and Dynamite both, if you like and watch both. I'm not going to bash you for that. That's your right. That's your opinion. You have every right to have your own voice and opinion. You do. You have every single, if you like AEW and NXT, you have every single right to like AEW and NXT both. Every single right. Every right. And the ratings, and NXT and Dynamite with the ratings don't matter. They don't. As long as you put on good shows, that's all I care about. As long as you put on a good show, that's all people care about. As long as you put on a good show, that's all we ask. That's all we ask. We just don't want to feel like a fool watching a show like we usually do on Monday and Friday, especially on Monday, because Monday Night Raw is the absolute worst show on fucking television. It really is. It really is. I mean, fuck. Raw, WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw WrestleMania season, they're still below 2 million viewers. That is pathetic. That is absolutely fucking pathetic. The ratings don't matter on Dynamite and NXT. They should matter on Raw and SmackDown. Especially Monday Night Raw, because they're in the fucking shitter. Because they're in the fucking toilet right now. Raw's literally in the fucking toilet right now. Even with Bobby Lashley now as a WWE champion. Still not going to change a damn thing. Still not going to change a goddamn thing about Monday Night Raw. Still not changing a thing about Monday Night Raw. Literally. The ratings should not matter on Dynamite and NXT. If you put on a good show, that's all people ask for. That's all people care about. Ratings don't matter. Oh, but ratings do matter, man. They don't. They don't. They don't. Just put a good effort. Just put in a good effort and put on at least a decent show. That's all we ask. We just don't want our intelligence insulted when we watch a certain show. That's all. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. Just put on a good show. That's all we fucking ask for. That's all we fucking ask for. I mean, I like Dynamite and I like NXT both. I like both AEW and NXT. I like both. I like AEW and NXT both. I have every right to like both. And if you like both, that's your right too. I don't care if you like AEW or NXT or NXT over AEW, or if you like both. It is a subjective matter if you like one over the other or both. And if you like both, you're allowed to do so. You're allowed to do so. If you like, you can. Professional wrestling is a subjective matter. It's like you pick it, like it's entertainment. You pick and choose what entertains you. You have every fucking right to like what you want about pro wrestling. And if you like Dynamite and NXT, that's your right. How is that affecting me? It's not. If you like Dynamite and NXT, if you like both NXT and Dynamite, more power to you. How is that affecting me? It's not. It's really not. So that is that with the report of NXT reportedly moving to Tuesday, starting April 13th on Tuesday, the Tuesday after WrestleMania 37, reportedly. So that's that with that report. And might as well start off this review here, this video right here, reviewing NXT first, then NXT UK, then AEW Dynamite, then the finale for this very video, and then the final part of this very video, reviewing, previewing, going over preview predictions for AEW Revolution 2021 tomorrow on pay-per-view in Jacksonville, Florida, live there, and on pay-per-view tomorrow. And before we start with NXT from this past Wednesday, the results from NXT this past Wednesday night, March 3rd, 2021, let's go over a little bit of a super chats. Dylan Ketchum, people don't even care about the ratings anymore, so good move. I absolutely agree, Dylan Ketchum. Absolutely agree. Adam in the chat, what's up, bro? AEW and NXT, two emojis with the sunglasses on. Oh yeah. SmackDown, like AEW and NXT. That's AEW and NXT. SmackDown, Raw. Yeah, that's Monday Night Raw, folks. That's Monday Night Raw, aka the worst show on television. That is known as Monday Night Raw. Raw is the absolute worst show on television. Don't catch him in the chat. Adam, what's up, man? Adam also in the chat. Cody Rhodes had a conference call talking about Revolution NXT moving to Tuesday. Yes, I did read that report and all a few days ago when it went out. And Cody Rhodes said something about NXT moving to Tuesdays. Didn't bash him. Like respectful competition thing from Cody Rhodes and such. So, yeah. Adam in the chat as well. You know that Vince McMahon will have his first quarterly earnings financials conference call with his shareholders in Stamford, Connecticut in April 3 or 4 weeks after WrestleMania 37. What new excuses will Vince come up with? Yeah, Vince's quarterly earnings quarterly earnings conference call with Vince, with his with all that Vince and his shareholders, and stock call with Vince, with his with all that Vince and his shareholders and stockholders in Stamford, and Nick Khan, no relation to Tony Khan, and Vince McMahon's first one of that for 2021. What new excuses will Vince McMahon come up with? Well, the WWE ratings took no effect with the coronavirus pandemic. The WWE ratings are higher than they've ever been, and they're higher now. They're over 3 million viewers with the pandemic now. Lies, Vince, lies. Vince McMahon, man, he just won't stop lying, man. Vince McMahon will just not stop lying, man. Well, WWE is now making new stars. Back then, WWE didn't want to make new stars back in the day, but now WWE is getting behind new talent, and talent is not scripted in promos. Oh, man. Oh, my God, man. Lies, Vince McMahon. Lies. What excuses will Vince come up with? What excuses will Vince come up with his next quarterly earnings meeting with his shareholders and stockholders in Stamford, Connecticut? His next one with Vince McMahon. And you do realize Vince McMahon's running out of excuses too. You know that, right? Vince is also running out of excuses, and eventually Vince's luck is going to run out. It will. It will. And you know Vince McMahon hates being wrong. I mean, look at Black Wednesday last year in April 2020 when the mass releases, with a lot of the WWE superstars getting released because of the pandemic. Last year in April 2020 on Black Wednesday, look at that one right there. You know why Vince did that is because with the quarterly earnings meetings, Vince didn't want to be wrong. And you know Vince McMahon hates being wrong. That's why Vince did that, to cover up his failures, because Vince McMahon will never admit that he's a failure. And that's the truth. Don't like it, tough shit. Anyways, get started with NXT this past Wednesday on March 3rd of 2021. So the show starts. So NXT is past Wednesday on USA Networks. The show starts off with a non-title tag team matchup between the NXT Tag Team Champions Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch versus Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. So we got Thatcher taking down Burch down to the mat. Nicole ground and pound ability of Timothy Thatcher. Birch got to his feet and forced Thatcher into the ropes. Thatcher then starts to work Birch's arm. Ciampa gets tagged in. Birch drives Ciampa into the corner. Lorcan and Birch then strikes. Ciampa then blasts Lorcan off the apron with a running knee outside the ring. And then we had Timothy blasting Birch with a European uppercut. Ciampa floors Lorcan with a lariat. Then we got Ciampa tossing Lorcan in the air into a European uppercut from Thatcher. And then we had Thatcher eating a strike from Lorcan that sends him tumbling out of the ring. Then afterwards, Thatcher then started to clutch at then after the Thatcher's then clutching at his neck. The referee and Ciampa then go to check on Timothy Thatcher to check if he was okay on the outside of the ring, while Lorcan and Birch started to regroup. Then it goes to the commercial break. Then we get back from the break. We come back from commercial break. Lorcan and Birch are wrecking over Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher manages attacking Tommaso Ciampa, who takes out Birch and Lorcan. Timothy Thatcher then tags him and suplexes Danny Birch. Thatcher then puts Birch in a sleeper. Lorcan kicks Thatcher in the face. Thatcher then smiles at Lorcan and keeps choking at Danny Birch. Tommaso Ciampa then kicks Lorcan right in the face. Thatcher and Ciampa then club Lorcan and Birch in stereo. A four-way brawl breaks out. Lorcan half Nelson suplexes Timothy Thatcher. Everyone then hits a big strike. Then all four men are down. And then Imperium appear on the stage. Alexander Wolf, Marcel Bartel, and Fabian Eichner and Alexander Wolf of Imperium. They then appear on the stage. And then in confusion, Birch and Lorcan then hit their finish on Thatcher for the win. And Lorcan and Birch win this non-title tag match with the NXT tag titles not in the line, with Lorcan and Birch defeating Thatcher and Ciampa. Now, we got some super chats. DJ Storms in the Furious Nation YouTube channel super chat. DJ Storms. Hey man, stopping by to hot that like button. Keep doing what you are doing, my friend, with the praying emoji. Thank you so much, DJ Storms. I really appreciate it. Absolutely appreciate it, man. I do anything for you, and know you do the same, and definitely consider you as a good friend. WC, DJ Storms, definitely consider you a very good friend. Dylan Ketchum in the chat. This was a physical showdown, but it was a little too focused on Thatcher to reach its peak. Yes, I agree with that. Now, I want to be honest with you. Decent, good match. Yes, physical, absolutely. Now, going into this match, I had the thought, oh great, they're gonna have Lorcan and Birch lose. They're gonna have champions lose, and champions should not be losing clean. But Lorcan and Birch won. Thank God. Thank God. Now, Thatcher ate the pin here. I was now watching this. Thatcher ate the pin, and 3/4 of Imperium minus Walter were on the stage here towards the end of this thing. Thatcher ate the pinfall. If Wolf, Marcel, and Fabian are now in NXT right now, 3/4 of Imperium, but they're now in NXT right now. Dylan Ketchum in the chat. Imperium's arrival was intriguing. Oh yeah. And it's even more intriguing with Walter there, man. Like, Walter's music hits. How do you not get intimidated, man? Walter, man, or as JD would say, Walter. And by the way, Walter, the longest reigning NXT UK champ in history, over 500 days, and just surpassed Pete Dunne's title reign. Hey, listen, Walter may never lose that NXT UK title ever. That's how dominant Walter is. But that's just me. And I can't be the only one who thinks that way. But Lorcan and Birch win this non-title match here with Thatcher eating the pin. What if Timothy Thatcher? Now, what if Imperium are feuding with Thatcher and Ciampa right after this? And what if Thatcher turns on Ciampa? What if Timothy Thatcher joins Imperium? And I heard rumors. Now, Timothy Thatcher was signed to WWE in late 2019, going into early 2020. And I heard the original plans that Timothy Thatcher in early 2020, he was supposed to be in NXT UK joining Imperium, but those plans got delayed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's why Timothy Thatcher went to NXT in the States instead of NXT UK because of the coronavirus pandemic. So that's why that was that. So they had to put those plans on delay and stuff because of COVID-19 and the COVID pandemic. But now with the COVID pandemic starting to ease right now, with the vaccines out right now and stuff, it looks like, and now that Fabian and Marcel and Wolf and now those three are now in NXT in the States right now at the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida right now. Looks like we could get Thatcher turning on Ciampa and joining Imperium. I would not mind that at all. Thatcher knows what he's doing in the ring, but he has no charisma whatsoever. Timothy Thatcher's a charisma vacuum, but if Timothy Thatcher's going with Imperium, I am all for that, man. I'm all for that. Walter maybe he's by himself now in NXT UK. I mean, he could do Imperium and without Imperium as Walter. I mean, Walter's great nonetheless, but that's just me. Timothy Thatcher joining Imperium could be a reality. That I would not mind at all. And if we get Ciampa feuding with Imperium, that could be nice. Or what if we get Walter for a little bit in NXT in the States? What if we get Walter and Tommaso Ciampa? That Walter and Tommaso Ciampa, shut the fuck up and take my money. Take my money. Tommaso Ciampa versus Walter would be fucking awesome. That would be fucking great. Ciampa versus Walter. Sign me up. And hopefully, sooner or later, we get the match with Balor and Walter. And that also got delayed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hopefully, we get that sooner or later as well. Hopefully. And Ciampa and Thatcher, and they were never in the long terms to be a tag team. Nothing but a makeshift team. But Thatcher turning on Tommaso Ciampa, joining Imperium, and Ciampa feuding with Imperium. That could be where they're heading, but I would not be opposed to that at all. But we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think on that. So then, right after this, we then get an in-ring segment with Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong comes out to the ring. He's in the middle of the ring. Has a microphone in his hands. He demands that Adam Cole come to the ring right now. Adam Cole doesn't show up, however. And he shouldn't. He's Adam Cole. He's the good heel that he is. So, that I will say. Finn Balor, however, shows up, though. And Balor gets in the ring. And he tells Roderick Strong that Adam Cole isn't going to show. Strong then says that the Undisputed Era was doing just fine until Finn Balor showed up. Balor then says he knows how to get Cole out to the ring. Balor then says he challenges Cole to a title match for the NXT Championship on NXT next week. Balor then says that Strong will never be a leader until he gets more selfish. Roderick Strong then decks Finn Balor. Referees then break up this brawl. And then that was that at the end of that segment right there. So this thing here, and I also announced at the end of the show with NXT this past Wednesday night. In NXT next week, looking like a load of show. NXT this past Wednesday, not really all that good, not terrible like Raw level, but not really that good of a show. I mean, not terrible, but not great. It was in my opinion. NXT this past Wednesday. But NXT's past Wednesday, but NXT next week should be really good. We got Finn Balor, Adam Cole for the NXT title next week on NXT. And also next week on NXT, Toni Storm and Io Shirai for the NXT Women's title, and I expect Toni Storm to win the NXT Women's title next week, and it's only inevitable Io Shirai's getting called up to the main roster to Raw or SmackDown. So that's my take on all that. But Roderick Strong and Finn Balor here. This was good. It continued the storyline with Adam Cole killing the Undisputed Era. The Undisputed Era now officially dead due to Adam Cole and all. And this continued the story with the storyline continuation. So I can't complain about this. This was some good stuff here. And it's set up for the main event later on in the show with NXT this past Wednesday with Roderick Strong versus Finn Balor, non-title match with the main event of NXT this past Wednesday night. So it set that up very nicely as well. And then we get to the next segment, the therapy segment with Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, Austin Theory, Indy Hartwell. We had Johnny Gargano trying to get Austin Theory to admit that Dexter Lumis tortured him in a basement. Austin Theory then says that's not what happened. He just hung out with Dexter Lumis. Lumis is actually a pretty cool guy who just needs a friend. Indy Hartwell then says she wouldn't mind being locked in a basement with the right guy. Johnny Gargano then goes nuts, and then the therapist then says, and this therapist was an older lady, the therapist says, or he or she, then the therapist says that they clearly have unresolved issues with Dexter Lumis. This therapy thing, I was not a fan of at all. If you ask me, I didn't find this good or funny at all. I did not find this good. I did not find this funny at all. This was like Undisputed Era when they were feuding with Dexter Lumis last year with the campy comedy with like Kyle O'Reilly being the therapist, dressed as a therapist. It was just not funny. But yeah, the way with the therapy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I mean, whatever you guys think, that's your right. It's your opinion. I'm not going to bash you for if you have a different opinion. But I mean, it's like a subjective matter. But this therapy segment, I was not a fan of. Like last year when Dexter Lumis feuded with Undisputed Era last year, and Kyle O'Reilly was dressed up as this therapist, and it was just not funny, and it was campy comedy. Then they were trapping Roderick Strong and cart in the trunk of a car. Just campy fucking comedy. Just not funny whatsoever. This therapy segment here with the way it reminded me of, just not funny at all. This was like very main roster-ish right here. This was main roster shit written all over it, and I didn't like it. I just did not like it. Did not like it at all, in my opinion. And then we go backstage to good old Karen Grimes, who's now playing this money gimmick, playing as this rich guy gimmick with all the money and the cash and the $1 Million Man and all. Cameron Grimes is then shown backstage, and he tries to pay to get the name of the Cap Wrestling Center to his name. William Regal then walks in and he says that there is a lawsuit because Cameron Grimes, good old Cameron Grimes, hit a crew member. Grimes then asks how much it will cost. Regal then says, don't worry about the money. Regal has booked Grimes in a match with Bronson Reed later on tonight. Cameron Grimes, good old Cameron Grimes, then once again blames the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, because later on tonight in NXT, I gotta fight Bronson Reed, thick Bronson Reed, and I gotta beat him, and I gotta prove to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, that good old Cameron Grimes. Not only did he appear on the Fury Station YouTube channel for the second time right here on YouTube.com, but later on in NXT this past Wednesday night on the USA Network, he had to get to Bronson Reed, he had to beat Bronson Reed, and he had to prove to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, that good old Cameron Grimes is going straight to the moon. Had to do it. Had to fucking do it. Let's go over some super chats again. Don't catch him in the chat. This was a solid follow-up to last week. Balor's rival threw a wrench in the story in a great way. The Irishman has no qualms about fighting anyone. Talk about the Balor Strong segment. Dylan Ketchum also in the chat talking about the therapy segment. The therapy segments were fun, just as most of the recent segments with the way have been. Listen, I like heel Johnny Gargano, and I like his work with the way, and I think heel Johnny Gargano is fucking great, but yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. Yeah. So then the next match, Aaliyah with Robert Stone and the Robert Stone brand and Jessica Mia versus Ember Moon with Shotzi Blackheart, who is one of my personal favorites currently with NXT. I expect her to do big things in NXT this year for 2021 is Shotzi Blackheart. So Aaliyah versus Ember Moon. Aaliyah was mocking Ember Moon, then Moon takes down Aaliyah. We had both ladies fall out of the ring. Stone and Camilla then try to distract Moon, but Blackheart backs them both off. Aaliyah then tries a sneaky dive, but Moon catches her and disposes her on the floor. Ember Moon then kicks Aaliyah right in the face. Ember Moon then goes for a near fall. Aaliyah then trips Ember Moon into the turnbuckle. Aaliyah then starts to work over Ember. Ember Moon fires up. Stone and Camilla try another distraction. Blackheart then flattens them both with a splash off the steps. Ember Moon hits the Eclipse for the victory, and Ember Moon defeats Aaliyah. Aaliyah, not really the biggest fan, but I can tell she's gotten a bit better in the ring ever since she broke away from Vanessa Bourne, who's reportedly on the main roster on Raw or SmackDown. Vanessa Bourne, not a fan of at all. Terrible is Vanessa Bourne. But anyhow, this match of Ember Moon and Aaliyah. Ember Moon wins as she should. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart looking like a tag team for now. But Ember Moon and this NXT Ember Moon, where was this Ember Moon on the main roster? Why was this woman, Ember Moon, on Monday Night Raw, losing to Lacey Evans and a botched sharpshooter on Raw in September of 2019? That was fucking terrible. Terrible. Then nearly having her career ended chasing the fucking 24/7 title, which was fucking garbage. Garbage. Burn the 24/7 title. Where's Kane to bring back Hellfire and Brimstone and burn the 24/7 title? I'd actually pay tickets to see Kane burn the 24/7 title into a fucking oblivion. Seriously. Then we had Ember Moon on Monday Night Raw in 2018 being fed to Tamina Snuka, a.k.a. Deadweight, and Nia Jax, or Nia Snacks. And then in Raw in 2018, Ember Moon teaming with Sasha and Bayley versus the Riot Squad in a 6-woman tag every single Monday, rinse to repeat on Raw in late 2018, which was fucking terrible. Like, where was this Ember Moon on Monday Night Raw in late 2018? Where was that? Look what Ember Moon's doing right now. Look what Ember Moon's doing right now. Ever since Ember Moon's return to NXT, man oh man, has she gotten better and better, and man oh man, has she been so much better off for it, man. Ember Moon back in NXT. And I'm glad Ember Moon is back in NXT right now. And look at what she's doing right now. And just like Balor, Ember Moon's actually evolved now in NXT, and it's like, why would you even want them back on the main roster at this point? Like, look at Finn Balor when he was losing to Bobby Lashley in early 2019, almost every single Monday for 17 weeks in a row, rinse and repeat, nonstop on Monday Night Raw every Monday in early 2019. That was just trash, absolute fucking trash. And Balor's doing some good stuff in NXT. So is Moon. Shotzi, like I said moments ago, I expect her to do really good things in NXT this year. I expect Shotzi to be an NXT Women's Champion by the end of 2021. We'll see what happens, but nothing much of a match with Aaliyah and Ember Moon. Not bad, but not really nothing special, but Ember Moon wins as she should. Not a great match, not the greatest match of all time, but Ember Moon wins as she should. And that is all I got to say on that. Don't catch him in the chat. Aaliyah remains the most. Don't catch him in the chat. Aaliyah remains the most well-known enhancement talent on the roster. Blackheart and Moon have now been fully established as a tag team. Shotzi and Moon, Shotzi, Blackheart, and Ember Moon as a tag team. The way they've been portrayed as of late in NXT. I could see that. I could very well see that, but we'll see what happens. Hearing rumors of NXT announcing NXT Women's Tag Titles, which I don't like at all. Reportedly, rumors of that, which I'm not in favor of at all. The women's tag titles on the main roster, just send them down to NXT and have them be on NXT permanently. There's 0 women's teams on the main roster outside of the Riot Squad. Even they're losers, but the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan on SmackDown, they're from SmackDown. At least they're a legit fucking team. On the main roster for women's teams, there are 0 women's teams. There are 0 women's teams on the main roster. 0 outside of Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. Outside of Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott of the Riot Squad. Like Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, they don't count. Mandy Rose is buried on Raw. Dana Brooke, terrible. Dana Brooke is fucked. Dana Brooke is awful. Tamina and Natty, they don't count. Natalia's a good wrestler, but she has no charisma. Natalia's a charisma vacuum. Tamina Snuka is useless. Naomi and Lana don't count. Naomi I'd like, but Lana sucks. Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler I like, but Shayna's worth so much more than being paired with Nia Jax. And Nia Jax is a hazard as well. There are 0 women's teams on the main roster outside of Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan of the Riot Squad. Down in NXT with their women's division NXT, they have a lot of legit women's teams down NXT women's division. You got Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. You got Blackheart. You got Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell of the Way. You got Jessie Kamea and Ilia. That's 4. You got Priscilla Kelly and Elena Black. That's 5. And then you got Duke and Shafir. That's 6. You have at least 6 women's teams. You have at least 6 women's teams for the NXT women's division. So it's like the main roster women's tag titles the women's main roster. So it's like the main roster women's tag titles. Take them off the main roster, move them down to NXT, and have them be in NXT permanently. You don't need to introduce NXT women's tag titles, and there's rumors of that going around, which I hope is not the fucking case. NXT women's tag titles being introduced is not the way to go. It's a terrible idea. NXT women's tag titles being introduced is absolutely unnecessary, in my opinion. It's not neat. It's totally unnecessary. Totally fucking unnecessary. NXT women's tag titles being introduced. NXT women's tag titles being introduced to NXT. I hope not. Main roster women's tag titles. Just take them off the main roster and move them down to NXT. Have them be on NXT fucking permanently. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to fucking happen. That is exactly what needs to happen. Speaking of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, Women's Tag Team title match, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. This match here women's tag team titles on the line. We got Shayna Baszler tossing Kai around the ring before trying to rip her arm out of her socket. Shades of what Shayna did to Dakota in mid-2018 when Shayna was in NXT as the NXT Women's Champion in her first reign. Dakota Kai avoids it, and then Kai fires up and lands a few takedowns and strikes. Baszler slams Kai and then tosses her out of the ring. Then we go to the break. Then after the break, we then get Kai working over Baszler. Kai boots Baszler in the face. Baszler rolls out of the ring. Baszler then trips Kai on the apron. Jax tags in and puts Kai in the stretch muffler. Kai manages to escape, but Jax slaps the hold on once again. Jax swings Kai's head into the turnbuckle as she is hanging from her leg. Jax and Baszler work over Kai. Kai then manages to tag in Raquel Gonzalez, who clears the ring. Gonzalez gets a near fall after a spinning slam on Baszler, which is nice. We got Baszler tagging in Nia Jax. Raquel Gonzalez and Nia Jax then trade strikes. Jax misses a splash in the corner. Gonzalez spears Jax in the corner. Then Jax pushes Gonzalez. Baszler then knees Gonzalez in the face. Baszler puts Gonzalez in the Kerfuda clutch, but Gonzalez escaped it and boots Shayna Baszler in the head. Raquel Gonzalez then hit the assisted go-to kick or GTK on Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax breaks up the pinfall. Dakota Kai then tries the GTK again on Shayna Baszler, but Dakota's knee gave out. Kai then tries it again, but Shayna turns it into the Kerfuda clutch. Kai manages to crawl to the corner. Kai manages to tag in Gonzalez. Gonzalez boots Jax off the process. Gonzalez and Jackson crash into the announce table and over the announce table. Baszler then and now Dakota Kai, when she was in the Kerfuda clutch, she got to the corner, tagged in Raquel. The tag was made, and Raquel was the legal person in the match along with Shayna. And Baszler has Kai in the Kerfuda clutch. Baszler has the Kerfuda clutch in on the illegal woman in the match, with Baszler locking Kai in the Kerfuda clutch again, but Kai was not legal. And then Adam Pearce runs out, and this was not a bad match here, but this was what the ending here. Monday Night Raw booking written all over it, man. Seriously. Adam Pearce then runs out on the stage and motions to be, and then motions to the back. A Raw referee then runs to the ring and calls for the bell. Dakota Kai passes out, but Dakota Kai was not the legal woman in the match. Dakota Kai was not the legal woman in the match. Raquel Gonzalez was, and Shayna and Nia retained the women's tag team titles. Raquel and Dakota did not lose here. They did not fucking lose here. Dakota and Raquel did not lose this match. Adam Pearce. Now, I might as well take a sip of my drink before I talk about this. Because I got a lot to talk about this year. Adam Pearce, towards the end of this match, shows up. And he has a Raw referee to make sure Shayna and Nia retain those titles. Shayna and Nia retaining those tag titles. Raquel and Dakota were fucking robbed. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez should be the women's tag team champions right now. Right now. This ending had Monday Night Raw booking written all over it. And why is Adam Pearce in NXT? Why are you in NXT, Adam Pearce? Go back to Raw and SmackDown where you fucking belong, Adam Pearce. Getting dragged by the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So, absolutely love it when Roman Reigns every Friday on SmackDown on Fox. Adam Pearce in NXT. Why the fuck is he here? Why the fuck is he here? This was Raw booking written all over it. Fucking stupid. Absolutely fucking stupid. Raquel and Dakota should have won here, and they were fucking robbed here. They were robbed. And there better be a rematch with these two teams. But at TakeOver on April 8th or at WrestleMania, where Dakota and Raquel win those titles. That better happen. That better fucking happen. Oh, but Naomi and Lana are owed a women's tag title shot, man. Fuck that. Fuck that. Lana sucks. Lana sucks. So don't even dare come at me and say, oh, but Naomi and Lana won a number one contenders match for the women's tag titles on Raw weeks ago, man. They should be fighting for the women's tag titles, man. Who the fuck wants to see them fight for the women's tag titles? No one. No one. Absolutely no one. And again, why is Adam Pearce here? William Regal is in charge of NXT, not Adam Pearce. Go back to Raw and SmackDown, Adam Pearce, where you fucking belong. You don't belong here in NXT. You have no business being in NXT, Adam Pearce. Go back to Raw and SmackDown where you fucking belong, Adam Pearce. Seriously. Go back to Raw being dragged by Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business, and go back to SmackDown being dragged by the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Seriously. This ending of this match, and this was a decent match, but this is an okay match, but this booking of this match had Raw bullshit written all over it. This is something that Monday Night Raw would do. And it was fucking dumb. Absolutely fucking dumb. And this match better not be a one and done. Raquel and Dakota should be the women's tag champions right now. And we better be getting a fucking rematch, but this time with Raquel and Dakota winning those titles. If we don't see that, I'm going to be pissed. Those are my thoughts on all that. And then we go back to the therapy session, all that. And then we go back to the therapy session with the therapist kicking Lorraine Hartwell out of the session. Gargano is then blowing up Lorraine's phone with text messages trying to get information. And then ended after cleaning house. The therapist then tells Theory that this is a safe space. And he can tell after her what happened the 3 days he was with Dexter Lumis. And then we go to a studio thing with Isaiah Swerve Scott saying that Leon Ruff trips and falls into the ring and ends up the North American champion. Swerve has to work for every opportunity he isn't even being given. Swerve is going to take what is his. Swerve doesn't care anymore. And then before we go to the next segment here, Dylan Ketchum in the chat. This was a fun encounter that built to a feverish conclusion. The finish set up plenty of intrigue. It seems Klein and Gonzalez couldn't be invading Raw soon for a deserved rematch. Anything that gets Raquel and Dakota those women's tag titles, like Raquel and Dakota, anything that gets them those tag titles is, at this point, it's fine by me. Just get the titles on Raquel and Dakota right now. Get the women's tag titles on Raquel and Dakota right now. That's all I got to say on that. Dylan Ketchum also in the chat. Which is a story that could extend to WrestleMania 37. I mean, Raquel and Dakota versus Shayna and Nia for the women's tag titles in a rematch. We could get it on NXT TakeOver April 8th or WrestleMania weekend in Tampa, one of the nights where Raquel and Dakota finally win the belts there. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that one of those two things could happen, hopefully. As long and at the end of the day, as long as Dakota and Raquel win those women's tag titles at the end of the day, that's all I care about. Just get those titles off Shayna and Nia. They're a joke. They're a joke. Especially when you have Nia Jax screaming, "My hoe! My hoe!" And Shayna Baszler, man, good in NXT, comes up to Monday Night Raw, not the same Shayna Baszler. And it's not even Shayna's fault. Not even her fault. When Shayna was supposed to beat Becky at WrestleMania 36 for the Raw Women's title, and Becky wanted to put Shayna over, but Vince McMahon turned that down, and Shayna lost to Becky clean for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania 36 when Becky wanted to put Shayna over. Then Shayna lost the Women's Money in the Bank back last year in 2020 at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Shayna lost the Women's Money in the Bank last year at Money in the Bank, etc., etc. Shayna Baszler is dead on Monday Night Raw. Dead. And I hate to say that because I like Shayna Baszler. I really do. Longest reigning NXT Women's Champ in history and two-time NXT Women's Champ in NXT is Shayna Baszler. And she comes to Monday Night Raw and she gets fucking buried. Awful. Absolutely awful. So then we get the next segment here with LA Knight, formerly known as Eli Drake from TNA Impact Wrestling. LA Knight, he makes his way to the ring. He has a microphone. He's in his street clothes. He says he isn't here to talk about childhood dreams. This is about business. LA Knight is here to kick ass. LA Knight then says when it's all said and done, he'll be the guy setting trends and breaking records. Knight says names. Knight then says names, and says they have their fancy flips and kicks. Knight doesn't have that. He isn't meeting any of them with Flash. Knight's just going to win, and then before Knight, and then LA Knight then says, and then LA Knight with his final line, that is just a fact of life. Monday Night Raw is the worst show on television, and that, folks, is just a fact of life. And then before LA Knight then leaves the ring, Bronson Reed then makes his entrance for his match. And then we get Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes. So we get Cameron Grimes trying to pay Reed off. Reed decks Grimes. This goes to the break. Then we go to commercial break. Then coming back from the break, we then get Cameron Grimes hitting his modified Spanish fly for a near fall by Cameron Grimes. Reed then fires up and goes up top for his frog splash. With Bronson Reed, probably the most devastating frog splash in the business today. I would not want to be in that ring with Bronson Reed taking a frog splash. I'll tell you that. So Bronson Reed's up top. He's trying to go for his frog splash, right? LA Knight then gets on the apron and he knocks Reed off the top rope without the referee seeing it. Cameron Grimes then hits the cave-in finisher for the win, and Cameron Grimes defeats Bronson Reed. Cameron Grimes defeats Bronson Reed. Don't catch him in the chat. LA Knight is finally starting to find a spot in NXT. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, but it looks like we're getting a feud in NXT soon with LA Knight and Bronson Reed, but I'm not sure how I feel about that, but see what happens. Dylan Ketchum also in the super chat. After his evolution, Grimes may start to build more steam as a competitor. I agree. What if the $1 Million Man is a manager for Cameron Grimes? I don't know, but let me know your opinion. Let me know your opinion. Let me know your opinions on that in the super chat or in the comment section. But yeah, but a decent little match here for what they were given. Big fan of Cameron Grimes. He's really starting to grow on me. Bronson Reed, one of my personal favorites currently in NXT, man. Outside of Dexter Lumis and Shotzi Blackheart. Johnny Gargano, one of my top favorites in NXT as well. Along with Adam Cole and Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa and Kyle O'Reilly as well. But don't catch him. I agree. After his evolution, Grimes may start to build more steam as a competitor. I would agree with you there, Dylan Ketchum. I would absolutely agree with you there. We'll see what happens. Cameron Grimes, I don't know if we see him as North American champ this year. It could happen, but we'll see what happens. But Cameron Grimes, the new money gimmick, he's really Cameron Grimes and all, he's really starting to grow on me, and it's been growing on me the past few weeks ever since this money gimmick and all. Even before this money gimmick, I was liking him, but now he's starting to grow on me. But that's me. That's just me. But anyhow. And then we go backstage with Adam Pearce and William Regal arguing. Then we go backstage with Kaden Carter saying that she's going to take out Xia Li since Xia Li injured Casey Catanzaro not long ago when Xia Li, quote, injured Casey Catanzaro's leg. Carter then says that she has no fear and next week Lee can come get it. So also booked next week with NXT. Xia Li versus Kaden Carter should be decent. Next week with NXT with Xia Li and Kaden Carter should be decent stuff there. And NXT's women's division continues. NXT's women's division continues to be some really good stuff. Then we go back at therapy with Theory telling the therapist that he had a blast and ate cereal all day when he was with Dexter Lumis. Theory had a blast. The therapist then says she spoke to Lumis today in preparation for this, and Lumis said Theory is gross and obnoxious and he hates him. Theory runs off crying. Then Johnny then says he's going to give the therapist a piece of his mind. Johnny then hands the therapist a wad of cash. Thanks her. Tricking Theory was too easy. So then we get Everrise versus Breezango of Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Chase Parker and Matt Marcel of Everrise, who I'm not much of a fan of. Everrise. They have no character. Everrise from 205 Live. So Breezango is making their entrance to the ring. Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza attack them from behind. Everrise then tries to run away, but Escobar attacks them while they walk up the ramp. Santos Escobar then grabs the mic and tells us not to confuse last week's event as a weakness. If you do, this is what awaits you. Escobar then points at the carnage they left in their wake. And then that was that. They also showed last week's NXT's highlights of the street fight with Karrion Kross and Santos Escobar as well. They showed that as well here. And then we go backstage with William Regal, and he says, because of what happened in the women's tag title match earlier in the night, he says he is going to make an announcement next week on NXT that is going to change the face of NXT next week. Hope it's not the announcement of introducing NXT women's tag titles. I hope that's not the fucking case. I hope it's not the case. And then we get the main event, Finn Balor versus Roderick Strong, for the main event of NXT this past Wednesday night on USA Network. Before I talk about this main event, I'm going to take a drink again, so I have a voice here. Got at least 2 drinks tonight here, so I have a voice for this video right here. I'm going to be here for a while, so that's that. Ah. Ah. All right. So Roderick Strong versus Finn Balor, non-title match with the main event of NXT on Wednesday night this past week. We got Strong and Balor trading submission attempts and strikes with each other. Balor locks in an armbar. Strong almost reverses it into the stronghold. Balor escapes it. Balor rolls Strong into a crucifix pin. Roderick Strong kicks out. Balor then works over Strong's arm. And then fast forwarding this match, we got Strong surprising Balor with a power slam, which looked really nice. Roderick Strong then clubs at Balor. Backbreaker by Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong, the Messiah of the backbreaker. Strong misses a running knee in the corner. Balor locks Strong in a modified hammer lock. Strong hits a C4. Strong lands multiple running elbow. And then the Olympic or angle slam by Roderick Strong. Strong power bombs Balor. Balor kicks out. Finn Balor hits a sling blade. Balor then tries the hesitation drop kick, but Strong catches his feet, locks in the stronghold. Balor escapes it. Strong picks up Balor for a backbreaker, but Balor shifts in midair. It's a nasty double stomp. Overhead kicks by Strong. Balor lands the final cut. Strong then stumbles to his feet. Balor hits the hesitation drop kick. Balor then goes up top and he hits Roderick Strong with the coup de grace. Then afterwards, Balor lifts Strong up and hits the 1916 for the 1, 2, 3. And Finn Balor defeats Roderick Strong in a good match with the main event of NXT this past Wednesday night on March 3rd of 2021 on the USA Network. Then after this match, we then had Adam Cole walking out on the stage. Balor and Cole then stare each other down to hype up their match on NXT next week with the NXT Championship match next week on NXT with Finn Balor versus Adam Cole. So that was that with NXT and all. A good match for the main event, and Balor winning was the right move. Champion should not lose clean. Champion should not lose fucking clean. We got Adam Cole staring down Finn Balor. Now, who do you think wins next week? Do we see Finn Balor retain, or do we see Adam Cole the new NXT champion? What if Adam Cole wins the title next week, and Kyle O'Reilly's going to be out for a little while? What if at the end of this whole thing, probably sometime later on this year, probably we get for the NXT Championship, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole, where Kyle O'Reilly wins the NXT title, with Kyle O'Reilly winning the NXT Championship? That could happen. I mean, that could happen. NXT title, O'Reilly and Cole, with O'Reilly winning the belt later on this year for Medical. I don't know. Either that or Balor retains and we get Adam Cole in the main roster. I don't know. It's unpredictable here. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do next week. Should be a good match next week, but I don't know what the hell they're going to do next week. But let me know what you guys think. Well, let me know your guys' opinions in the super chat and the comments of who you think should win next week with Balor and Cole next week on NXT for the NXT Championship. But I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens next week and what direction they go with the Cole and Balor and Undisputed Era situation next week with NXT and the NXT title situation. Do we get Finn Balor versus Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly at WrestleMania, triple threat for the NXT title? Do we get that at the TakeOver on April 8th, reportedly? I don't know. We'll see what happens, though. But NXT this past week, with NXT this past Wednesday on March 3rd of 2021, it wasn't terrible, like near like low raw levels, but it wasn't terrible like that, but it wasn't great either, if you ask me. It was though with NXT this past Wednesday, I'd much rather take that over Monday Night Raw, because Raw is just fucking god awful. Raw's absolutely god awful. But that's my opinions with NXT, and that's all that with NXT this past Wednesday and March 3rd of 2021, this past Wednesday night on the USA Network. And we'll start off next with the review with NXT UK this past Thursday on the WWE Network of March 4th of 2021. And before we do that shortly with NXT UK, got some more super chats from Dylan here. More super chats here from Dylan. Catch them. Legado del Fantasma needed to build momentum after an embarrassing loss last week when the trio could not be Cross. Yeah. Cross and Escobar in the street fight was good, but Santos Escobar is a cruiserweight champion. Number one, Karen Cross is not a cruiserweight. So why is he? So why is Cross wrestling Santos Escobar? Number one. Number two, Santos Escobar is cruiserweight champion. Champion should not lose clean, no matter how good the match was. Street fight with Cross and Santos from NXT last week, no matter the street fight from last week in NXT, no matter how good that was, that match on NXT a week ago, champion should not lose clean. Champion should not lose clean. Don't catch him in the super chat as well. Even though they did not get to compete, it is nice to see NXT continue to use Everrise, who are regularly seen on 205 Live. Yeah, Everrise, I have to agree with that. Everrise originally from 205 Live as well. Heard Kevin Owens is a fan of them, but yeah. Don't catch him. This should not have been the main event, especially with the surprise finish that came out of the tag team title match at the women's tag titles. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that. So, I don't know, but with what happened with the finish, the women's tag titles, I don't know how well that would have went off on television, though. That's just me, but subjective thing. Anyways, don't catch him. The importance of this match is to sell strong as more than a secondary member of Undisputed Era. I agree. Even with that goal, it was smart for Balor to continue winning. Absolutely. Absolutely. And on top of all this, champion should not lose clean. Finn Balor should not be losing to Roderick Strong clean here in a non-title match. Balor beating Strong was a good match, but Balor beating Strong was the right move. Because champion should not be losing clean. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. That's one of my biggest pet peeves. Champion should not lose clean in a non-title match situation. It devalues the championship and it makes the championship look weak, and I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Champion should not lose clean. Champion should not be booked to lose clean. That's something. That's like Monday Night Raw bullshit. There, champions losing clean. That's something Monday Night Raw would do. Champion should not lose clean. Oh, but if it was AEW, you'd. Oh, but if AEW did it, you defend it. No. Look at Darby Allin on Dynamite weeks ago when he was the TNT champion, and that main event tag match on Dynamite weeks ago with Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, and Cage and Starks won with Cage pinning Allin, and Darby Allin just won the TNT title and he lost clean in that tag match on Dynamite weeks ago when he was pinned by Brian Cage in that match with Darby Allin pinned that match by Brian Cage, which made no sense because champion should not lose clean. But yeah. But people want to say, oh, but if Dynamite did this bullshit as well, you would defend it. Sure. Anyways, now we're going to get on next right now for this very video here. The review from NXT UK from this past Thursday on the WWE Network with March 4th of 2021. So we got NXT UK starting off with Ilia. So NXT UK this past Thursday on the WWE Network. NXT UK this past Thursday on the WWE Network. Show starts off with Sam Gradwell versus Ilia Genegano. One of my personal favorites in NXT UK, to be quite honest with you guys. We got Gradwell striking Dragunov around the face. We got Gradwell continuing to taunt Dragunov. We then got a quick back and forth between these two guys. Dragunov then managed to then down Gradwell with a boot in the face, and then attacked him with a knee to the face from the top rope. And then his Dragunov attempted to execute another top rope maneuver, Gradwell knocked him down to the outside. Dragunov then returned to the ring and was repeatedly ground pounding Gradwell. Gradwell then attempted to pin Dragunov following a suplex, but managed to kick out at 2. Gradwell then caught Dragunov in a standing armbar, but the latter fought his way free and cleared out Gradwell with a clothesline before targeting him with a series of knee strikes and knife-edge chops. Gradwell then began fighting back with strikes, but Dragunov knocked him down once more. However, after Dragunov then missed Gradwell and hit the turnbuckle, Gradwell then used this as an opportunity to make a comeback and hit Dragunov with a chop to the back. And then we got this match ending in chaos with Dragunov targeting the head of Gradwell with blow after blow, and then the referee called for the bell and stopped the match, and Ilia Dragunov wins with the technical knockout. So Dragunov beats Gradwell by technical knockout. However, though, Dragunov didn't stop there, and then Dragunov didn't stop after the match was over. He continued to ground and pound Sam Gradwell, and then Ilya Dragunov then started to attack the officials as he was after the referees were called down to the ring to stop the beatdown by Dragunov onto Sam Gradwell, and that was that. So it looks like we're starting to see a new aggressive side now of Ilya Dragunov, and I kind of like it. Now, do we see Ilya Dragunov in Walter Part 2? We might. Maybe Dragunov wins the title this time. Maybe we do it in front of fans for NXT UK. Maybe there's a next NXT UK takeover. Maybe if that's possible with fans. I don't know, but they're giving Ilya Dragunov something to do and giving him more of an aggressive side. Maybe they are doing Walter and Ilya Dragunov Part 2. I don't know, but see what happens. But Ilya Dragunov starting to have more aggressive side right now. I'm liking what they're doing with Ilya Dragunov right now, man. I really am, and I'm happy to see that Ilya Dragunov having a more aggressive side right now, currently with NXT UK. And then we get the very next segment of NXT UK. We then get the next segment of NXT UK. This past Thursday on WWE Network. The Supernova Sessions with Noam Dar. That was the next segment with NXT UK this past Thursday. And before that actually happened, we had a vignette shown introducing Tioman. He was shown with this vignette, and this vignette showed that Tioman was in this vignette showed Tioman, spelled Teoman, debuting on NXT UK, debuting for NXT UK next week. Vignette here, an intense, intimidating vignette promo package, looking pretty nice. And Tioman debuts on NXT UK next week. Have to see what he's got, but we'll see what happens with Tioman next week on NXT UK. Then we also had a little brief backstage segment shortly after this, where Nina Samuels was unsuccessfully trying to prank Xia Brookside by putting salt in her tea. Now NXT UK the previous week, it was Xia Brooks. Now NXT UK the previous week, we had Xia Brookside versus Nina Samuels, and the loser of the match would have to be the winner's personal assistant for a full month. Xia Brookside won that match, and Nina Samuels is now Xia Brookside's, and Xia Brookside won that match, and now Nina Samuels is now Xia Brookside's personal assistant now for one full month. And Nina Samuels here in this little brief segment, Nina Samuels tried to prank Xia Brookside by putting salt in her tea, but was unsuccessful. And then they showed last week's installment of NXT UK where Samuels lost to Brookside and is now her personal assistant for the next month. And it was a backstage thing with Aaliyah, James, and Zaya Brookside, and Nina Samuels getting tea for Aaliyah James, and Zaya Brookside was Nina Samuels. And that was that right there. Zaya Brookside, underrated. Very young, but I think she has a lot of work to do. But she does have a lot of potential. But she's very young. She's extremely young. I think, isn't she? I think she's early 20s, if not mistaken. She has an entire career ahead of her as well. But that's that. Nina Samuels not bad, but she has not bad as well. Nina Samuels not bad at all as Nina Samuels. Zaya Brookside, not great, but she's good. But she's fairly young, has an entire career ahead of her. Sky's the limit for Zaya Brookside. Does Zaya Brookside have potential? Absolutely. Aaliyah James new as well. Has the entire career ahead of her as well. I'm assuming she's in her early 20s, I think, as well, assuming. But yeah. And then we get next up the Supernova Sessions, hosted by Noam Dar with a special guest, Tyler Bate, big strong boy Tyler Bate. One of my top favorites currently with NXT UK. Love me some Tyler Bate. Absolutely love me some Tyler Bate. Now, Tyler Bate was the special guest with Noam Dar in the Supernova Sessions. And Tyler Bate was a special guest here with Noam Dar in the Supernova Sessions. And Tyler Bate was gifted broccoli by the chat show host and by Noam Dar. Tyler Bate gifted a piece of broccoli. I was hoping that was steamed broccoli, bro. I heard Titus has a world famous recipe for broccoli cheddar or broccoli cheddar soup or roasted baked broccoli. I heard Titus O'Neil has a very excellent recipe for that for Titus Catering and all. But though Titus also makes not only good, but Titus O'Neil not only does he make good broccoli recipe, but I heard he has a VIP. Obviously, you know, when Titus Catering, Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke, she has an excellent recipe for though Ricochet's the new cupcake maker now for Titus Catering with chocolate cupcakes with vanilla cream filling and vanilla frosting on top and all. That's Ricochet, the new cupcake maker now for Titus O'Neil and Titus Catering right now. But Dana Brooke, I have heard Miss Catering, Dana Brooke, she makes awesome green bean casserole with extra breadcrumbs for Titus O'Neil and Titus Catering. Excellent recipe for breadcrumb green bean casserole for Titus O'Neil and Titus Catering. That's what I've heard, man. And I heard it's very delicious. Anyways, what am I doing here? I'm talking about food, or am I talking about NXT UK? Anyways, getting a little bit off track here. But anyways, so then we get during this segment, the pair discussed Tyler Bates' recent loss to A-Kid with the Heritage Cup thing, in the NXT UK Heritage Cup thing. And then Noam Dar then told Bate that he needed to face Dave Mastiff. Tyler Bate accepted this, and as he prepares to challenge again for the NXT UK Heritage Cup, Tyler Bate then claims that the upcoming match would be under the Cup rules. So, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's NXT UK next week, Tyler Bate versus Dave Mastiff, or in 2 weeks, either way, should be very good with Dave Mastiff with Dave Mastiff and Tyler Bate. That should be a really good match right there between those two guys. Dave Mastiff, another personal favorite of mine currently with NXT UK, Dave Mastiff. So should be a good match with NXT UK with Dave Mastiff versus Tyler Bate. Should be some really good stuff. So then after this, we then get followed by a video segment showing new NXT UK talent, Ben Carter, training in the ring. Then during this clip, the up-and-comer then reflected on getting his start in the US before coming back to his native UK, with Ben Carter being trained by Seth Rollins and all, and trained by Seth Rollins' pro wrestling school, and such and such. They showed that. Then we also see two other brief video packages and then we see two other brief video packages with Aaliyah James. They have a video package for Aaliyah James. They talk about her backstory and story about her and how she was a fan growing up and how she was a wrestling fan growing up, and then she got in the business and all. She was saying her role models were Mickie James and Melina. Says she was watching wrestling years ago and watched Melina and Mickie James on Raw, and then she wanted to be a wrestler. Then she started training, and now she's at NXT UK. So they talked about that with Aaliyah James and all with NXT UK. So they did that. And then we get the second brief video package with the White Witch of NXT UK, Isla Dawn. And we have this second video package shortly afterwards of the White Witch of NXT UK, Isla Dawn. She has this crystal ball with her and all. And she shows these words, chaos, and all this other stuff. It reminded me a lot of this reminded me a lot of the NXT version of Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross saying let's play and all, and chaos and all. And Isla Dawn, I heard she was actually trained by Aleister Black, Killian Dane, and Nikki Cross. Isla Dawn, current pro wrestler Isla Dawn, currently in NXT UK. I heard she was actually trained by Aleister Black, Killian Dane, and Nikki Cross. That's what I've heard, so that's that. Speaking of Nikki Cross, man, do I miss NXT Nikki Cross, man. Poor Nikki Cross. They have really killed her on the main roster. The pairing with Alexa Bliss absolutely killed Nikki Cross completely. The pairing with Alexa Bliss in 2019 made Nikki Cross look like everyone else on the roster. Just formulaic, boring, stale. It was fucking terrible. That pairing with Bliss completely killed Cross. And Nikki Cross, so good in NXT. He comes to the main roster in 2019, and a month in a row you're paired with Alexa Bliss. That was terrible. The pairing with Bliss absolutely killed Nikki Cross, and she never recovered from that. Can we get Nikki Cross back down to NXT, please, so she'll be appreciated a lot much better down there? I miss my NXT Nikki Cross. I want my NXT Nikki Cross back. I really do. I really do. So then the next match with NXT UK this past Thursday. Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter. Tag team match. NXT UK's tag division, seriously underrated if you ask me. AEW's tag division, the best in the world. AEW's tag division, second close one, and seriously underrated. That tag division with NXT UK. That's my take on that. So we got So this match was pretty fast paced. This was a fun match here. This is a really fun match right here. with Oliver Carter and Ashton Smith versus Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan. We got Smith and Carter. We got Carter and Smith teamed up on. We got Carter and Smith teaming up on Jordan, quickly tagging in and out of the match to launch fast attacks and all. Carter then repeatedly tried to pin Jordan, kicked out time and time again. Smith then replaced Carter in the ring and continued to isolate Jordan. Fast forwarding this match, we then get Williams then taking out both Smith and Carter on the outside of the ring. Williams and Jordan then used the opportunity to hit both of their rival, both Carter and Smith, the suicide dive through the ropes, which looked pretty nice, and onto the NXT UK ramp, which looked pretty nice as well. And then the match looked as though it was going to end with when Jordan pinned Smith after Senton Bomb or Swanton Bomb, but it was a Swanton Bomb from Amir Jordan, but it was broken up by Oliver Carter. And then the ending of the match between the two teams then became chaotic with multiple guys trying pin attempts. Jordan then managed to secure the win for him and his team by rolling up Oliver Carter. And Amir Jordan pins Oliver Carter, and then both teams both teams put on a good showing here, and Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams win this match. Good match, nice, fun little match here with Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams versus Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter. Fun little match here with NXT UK here. NXT UK's tag division is seriously underrated, man. Seriously underrated. Absolutely seriously underrated. That's my take on all of that. We then got a little promo package hyping up one of the matches with NXT UK next week. Quote, the first ever mixed tag team match with NXT UK next week. Joseph Connors and the fashionista Jenny versus Jack Stars and Piper Niven. Jenny with this partnership with Joseph Connors and NXT UK as of late, and Jenny feuding with Piper Niven as of late in NXT UK, with Jenny and Piper Niven feuding as of late in NXT UK. And then they showed a promo package of that, hopping up that mixed tag team match next week with NXT UK with next week. And then after this promo package, we then got this then followed by Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams then reacting to their win on Tonight Show. The duo then the duo will then next face former NXT UK Tag Champions Mark Andrews and Margaret Webster as they set up in pursuit of capturing the titles from the new NXT UK Tag Team Champions Pretty Deadly of Sam Stoker and Lewis Howley, and Sam Stoker of Pretty Deadly, who beat Gallus for the NXT UK Tag Team titles in a very good match the previous week on NXT UK, which was really good. Some really good stuff there. And then that was that. And then they also announced that the Heritage Cup rules match between, and then they also confirmed Dave Mastiff and Tyler Bate, that match with being under Heritage Cup rules. They confirmed that as well. And then we got the main event. The main talking point of NXT UK this past Thursday night. NXT UK Women's Championship match. Ray, who's held the NXT UK Women's Championship for over 500 days, and the longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champ in history, and Kaylee Ray. The longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champ in history, and Kaylee Ray versus the best in the world from Japan, and versus the final boss versus the best in the world from Japan, the final boss, Miko Satomura. And before we talk about this thing, I'm taking a drink as well. Gonna need it. All right. Should be good. NXT UK women's title match between Kaylee Ray and Miko Satomura. Very good match here, guys. If you have not watched this match yet, seriously, go out of your way and watch this match. Really good stuff here with Kaylee Ray and Miko Satomura. Fantastic fucking stuff. We got Kaylee Ray and Miko Satomura making the entrances. They have the spotlight thing with the title match. Both ladies introduced and all. And then the bell rings. The Kaylee Ray and Miko Satomura both quickly lock up. Satomura then is floored by Ray with a swift kick to the leg. However, Satomura floored Ray with a swift kick to the leg. However, Kaylee Ray fought back by holding Satomura's arm behind her back in a lock, and then drove her challenger into the turnbuckle. Satomura then hoisted Ray overhead and drove her into the mat. The champion then rolled out to the outside of the ring, taking her time returning. Satomura then targeted the NXT UK Women's Champion with a series of leg strikes, to which Kaylee Ray responded with a series of chops to Miko Satomura's chest. We had one spot here where Miko Satomura and Kaylee Ray, they were on the outside apron. Miko Satomura hits the Death Valley driver on Kaylee Ray on the outside apron, and Kaylee Ray rolls to the outside of the ring. And there was a Death Valley driver by Miko Satomura and Kaylee Ray on the apron on the outside, which looked fucking nasty, which looked like it fucking sucked. That was fucking brutal shit. That looked fucking brutal, man. That spot, man. One of the top highlights or spots in this match here was that. Then we got Miko Satomura doing the STF, shades of John Cena. We had Satomura having Kaylee Ray in the STF. Satomura then held Ray in a crossface submission, but the title holder managed. And then Satomura then held Ray in a crossface submission, but Kaylee Ray managed to drag herself to the bottom rope. Satomura then continued to target the legs of Kaylee Ray with stiff kicks to the backs of her. Kaylee Ray then gained momentum to the backs of her thighs. Kaylee Ray then gained momentum by locking Satomura in a Koji clutch, shades of Sami Zayn. And then Kaylee Ray then gained momentum by locking Satomura. Locking Satomura in the Koji clutch before the hold was then broken. And then after some back and forth between the two, Satomura then corned Kaylee Ray, or slammed Kaylee Ray against the turnbuckles. Satomura on Kaylee Ray, and then targeted Kaylee Ray with repeated kicks. Following this, Kaylee Ray then pulled Miko face first out of the NXT UK ring and onto the floor. And then we had And so then this match for the NXT UK Women's title then continues. And this match continues as both women got back in the ring to beat the count. Kaylee Ray then attempted a gory bomb on Miko Satomura, but Miko was able to wriggle her way out of the move. Both women then fought on the apron before Satomura slammed her opponent spine first onto the edge with a Death Valley bomb. Kaylee Ray then barely made her way back into the ring to break the count and was hit with an onslaught of attacks from Miko Satomura. Ray then fought back with a DDT and another Koji clutch, which Satomura tried to turn into a pin attempt before breaking the submission by hooking her leg on the bottom rope. Kaylee Ray then attempted to hit Miko Satomura with a top rope attack, but this was thwarted when Miko knocked her down with bicycle kicks. Satomura then attempted a frog splash, but Kaylee Ray gets the knees up. And Miko Satomura is then writhing in pain. She's favoring her rib section. Is Miko Satomura. Miko Satomura is then favoring her. Miko Satomura is then favoring her rib section or midsection. Miko then after this, Kaylee Ray hits the gory bomb. Miko Satomura kicks out. And then Miko then attempted a scorpion kick on Kaylee Ray, but Kaylee Ray managed to dodge the attack before grabbing Satomura by the foot and then attempting another gory bomb, which was reversed. And then once again, Kaylee Ray then got Miko in position for a gory bomb. Kaylee Ray managed to execute it. Kaylee Ray hits the gory bomb again on Miko Satomura. And then 1 and 2 and 3. And Kaylee Ray defeats Miko Satomura and retains the NXT UK Women's Championship. So Kaylee Ray beats Miko Satomura to retain the NXT UK Women's title. Kaylee Ray said she wanted the best. She got the best of Miko Satomura. Kaylee Ray said she wanted the best. She got the best of Miko Satomura, and this was a damn good fucking match. And then after this match here, Miko Satomura and Kaylee Ray bow to each other in sign of respect for one another. And Kaylee Ray's reign as NXT UK Women's Champion continues over 500 days plus and counting. And Kaylee Ray beats Miko Satomura. Absolutely the right move. Now, before I talk about this match and Kaylee Ray and Miko Satomura here, before this match also happened, this match was also being hyped up. And before this match happened, this match was being hyped up by Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. With Bayley saying that Kaylee Ray is on a whole another level right now. Bayley giving high praise to Kaylee Ray and then Miko Satomura then being praised by Mercedes Martinez, Rhea Ripley, and Sasha Banks and Toni Storm. And I believe Sasha did a pro wrestling training session, I believe, late last year, if not mistaken, with Sasha Banks did late back in the fall of last year with Tessa Blanchard and Miko Satomura, I believe, with Sasha Banks last year in the fall of 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that was that. And this match here with Kaylee Ray and Miko Satomura, very good fucking stuff here. And Kaylee Ray beating Miko Satomura, definitely the right move. And I know some people are upset that Miko lost here. Look, and people saying, oh, Miko lost to Kaylee Ray. How could they? Why? This is stupid. Miko Satomura lost to Kaylee Ray. I'm pissed. And Miko Satomura should have been the one to take the title off Kaylee Ray. Listen, I like Miko Satomura. I do. But is Miko Satomura the one to beat Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Women's Championship? No. Aoife Valkyrie is your woman to take the NXT UK Women's Championship off of Kaylee Ray. Aoife Valkyrie is your woman to beat Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Women's title. Not Miko Satomura. Aoife Valkyrie is your one to beat Kaylee Ray for the title. Not Miko Satomura. Miko Satomura only beat Isla Dawn in NXT UK and then automatically an NXT UK Women's title match for Miko Satomura shortly right afterwards. And then it's like you're going to give, and then on top of all that, you're going to give Miko Satomura the NXT UK Women's title and you're going to have her beat Kaylee Ray? Come on. I like Miko Satomura, but Miko beating Kaylee Ray would have been Goldberg beating The Fiend written all over it. Miko Satomura beating Kaylee Ray, that would have just been like Goldberg burying The Fiend. You don't want that. What kind of disrespect would that be to Kaylee Ray? She's held the NXT UK Women's title for over 500 days. You're going to disrespect Kaylee Ray like that? It's like you might as well just gift the title to Miko Satomura at that point if that was the case. And wrap the NXT UK Women's title for Miko Satomura, and then just wrap the NXT UK Women's title for Miko Satomura then in a nice big bow then and all, But Kaylee Ray beating Miko Satomura but Kaylee Ray beats Miko Satomura, but Kaylee Ray retains. Absolutely the right fucking call. Absolutely the right call. And Miko losing to Kaylee Ray, it's not going to hurt Miko. And the match was good, and Miko Satomura looked really good in defeat. She did. And Miko Satomura is not buried. She's not a loser. There are losers, and there are losers who look good in a loss. Losers are The Miz. That is a loser. Losers are John Morrison. That's a loser. Losers are Angel Garza. That's a loser. Losers are Drew Gulak. That's a loser. Losers are Ricochet. That's a loser. Losers are Jeff Hardy. That's a loser. Losers are Humberto Carrillo. That is a loser. Losers are Akira Tozawa. That's a fucking loser. Miko Satomura is not a loser. Miko Satomura is not a loser. Miko Satomura is not buried. Kaylee Ray versus Miko Satomura was excellent this past Thursday on NXT UK. And Kaylee Ray retains. Absolutely the right decision. Absolutely the right decision. And Miko Satomura looked good in defeat. And Miko Satomura, as much as I like her, she's not the woman to beat Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Women's title. She's not. Aoife Valkyrie's your one to beat Kaylee Ray for the NXT UK Women's title, not Miko Satomura. If Miko would have beat Kaylee Ray, not only would have it, if Miko would have beat Kaylee Ray, it would have been a big slap in the face to NXT UK and the NXT UK Women's division and the NXT UK Women's title, and it would have been a slap in the face to Aoife Valkyrie, and most of all, it would have been a big slap in the face to Kaylee Ray. And Miko Satomura, not even a month in NXT UK, and you're going to give Miko Satomura the NXT UK Women's title? That doesn't work that way. You come in to WWE or any pro wrestling company, you come in, you got to work your way up the ladder. You're not just given a championship right away. You start in any pro wrestling company, you start at the bottom, you work your way up the fucking ladder. And it's like Miko Satomura, not even a month in NXT UK, and you want to give Miko Satomura, you want to give Miko Satomura the NXT UK Women's Championship? That doesn't work that way whatsoever. That doesn't work that way. Kaylee Ray retaining the NXT UK Women's title is the right fucking move. I don't care what anyone says. This is a very good match here with Kaylee Ray. A very good match here with Kaylee Ray. A very good match here with Kaylee Ray and Miko Satomura. And overall, NXT UK, Baszler in the WWE Network, really good show. Really, really good show. Love me some NXT UK. Next week's NXT UK should be some pretty good stuff as well. Should be no different. So that's my take with NXT UK this past Thursday on the WWE Network with NXT this past Thursday on the WWE Network with NXT UK. And then the next thing, this video, the AEW Dynamite review from this past Wednesday, March 3rd of 2021. And I'm going to take a drink again. Talk about Dynamite real quick. I don't want to go too long for you guys. So talk about Dynamite real quick. Talk about AEW Revolution real quick. And quote their surprise signing for AEW with Revolution tomorrow night. We'll talk about that real quick. I won't go so long on that. And I don't want, and with this video, I don't want to make it too long for you guys. So that's that. So I thought I'd just throw that out there real quick to you guys. So, AEW Dynamite. This past Wednesday, March 3rd of 2021. We got the opening match. Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet versus Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill. This match, going into it, I was not in favor of it. I was not in favor of it at all because with Shaquille O'Neal and all, and just no one want, and it's like, and I was like, that's like no one wants, and I was like, oh great, no Shaq on TV. It's like, oh shit, this is gonna be terrible. No one wants to see Shaq on television. He's taking a spot away from a young talent, and this is not gonna be good at all. I was very pessimistic going into this match here, but truth is, I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'm not scared to say that. I'm not afraid to admit that. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And Shaquille O'Neal proved me wrong here. And I think he proved a lot of people wrong here with this match as well. Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet versus Shaquille O'Neal and versus Shaq and Jade Cargill. Going into this, I was expecting a disaster, but this match was not. But this match was not so bad. Not as bad as I was it to be. Not as bad as I was expecting this matchup to be. This was actually pretty decent here. Not bad at all. We got a big back body drop from Shaq. We got some slap chests. We got some chops from Shaq on Cody Rhodes. Shades of the Big Show. With Big Show, Paul White, who's now in AEW. We got a knee to the gut of Cody. We then got another chop in the corner. Then Shaq goes for a third chop, but Jade tags herself in. Red Velvet then goes in, and then Jade kicks her in the gut. Fireman's carry attempt for Jade, but Red Velvet wriggles free, only to get a kick in the gut. Fast forwarding this match, we then get and then there was the highlight spot with this match. Two tables were then set up on the outside of the ring, stacked next to each other, not on top, but stacked across right next to each other, not on top, but like. And this was set up on the outside of the ring. These two tables, right? We got those two tables set up next to each other on the outside of the ring. We then got Shaq on the apron. Cody then charges at Shaq, and he dives and Shaq go crashing through the tables. This was that spot looked fucking awesome. That spot looked fucking great. It really did. Then Jade is out astounded, and then gets speared by Red Velvet. 1-2 kick out. Jade, however, then fights back, and then hits the Widow's Peak for the victory. And Jade Cargill and Shaq / Shaquille O'Neal win this next tag team match to open AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday on TNT. Like I said in the beginning, really good match here. Decent match here. Not as bad as I was going into this. I expected the worst. I expected disaster of a match. I was pessimistic going into this, but this match here, not as bad as I was expecting it to be. In fact, a decent match, not a bad match at all. And again, not afraid to admit, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And Shaquille O'Neal proved me wrong here, and he proved a lot of people wrong here with this match here. And then we got the next match. Pac and Ray Phoenix versus John, Skyler, and D3. This was like a quick squash here. We had a 450 by Pac and Rikishi driver from Ray Phoenix. Quick squash. Nothing really special, just a quick squash as well. There's just a quick squash here for Pac and Ray Phoenix. Nice little showcase here for Pac and Ray Phoenix. And then we get a press conference with MJF and Chris Jericho. We got Chris Jericho running down his tag team career and says no one, not even The Rock or Paul White, can compare to MJF. Grant Thompson then asks the next question: can Sammy Guevara come back in the Inner Circle? And then they dismiss Conrad and tell him to go back to Nebraska. I chuckled. Brandon Walker then asks about Papa Buck's attack. And then MJF then runs White Trash Papa down and then mocks the Young Bucks. Santana then rips on them too. Y'all need to do better. Then out comes Eric Bischoff. And then quote from Eric Bischoff: do you know the condition of Papa Buck? And then his list of stupid decisions, where does instigating the Bucks come into play? They don't care about Papa Buck. And Jericho says, as for the Bucks, if you play with fire, then Nick Jackson's music then hits. And before all this, the beginning of the segment, Barstool Sports asks the first question, but no one can hear it due to mic issues. You know. And then, before I talk about this real quick, I'm taking another drink again. I want a good voice here. I need the Furious Nation creator, Nick Fiore, needs a good voice here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel, as always. All right. So Nick Jackson first speaks, and he says that they made it personal when they attacked their father. Matt says Papa Buck is the best dad in the world and taught them everything which apparently their fathers didn't do. The do-it-yourself spirit is what created the Young Bucks. That's what created being the elite. That's what created AEW. Without their dad, there would be no Young Bucks and probably no AEW. Matt then says MJF would be waiting for a callback from Rose O'Donnell show, while Jericho would be jerking the curtain at the Performance Center. They super kick them and a brawl breaks out. The Good Brothers then come out and set up a table on the entryway and off the stage. Santana Ortiz then set up on it, and the Bucks dive on top of them. And then that was that. How many virgins were triggered by this? Oh, how could the Young Bucks, man? Jericho wouldn't, if there was no AEW, Jericho wouldn't still be with the curtain with the Performance Center, man. Sure. Oh, the Young Bucks, how could they? I tell you, these trolls just hate hearing the truth. They hate hearing the truth, man. Trolls have no life, and they can't stand hearing the truth, because when people like me say the truth, when people like JD and DJ Storms, when they tell the truth, like people like me and DJ Storms and JD, people like us, we know we're right, and the trolls can't stand that, and the trolls have no legs to stand on. Literally. Oh, but the Young Bucks, how could they? They're wrong, man. The Young Bucks are wrong with that statement about Jericho in the Performance Center, man. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So that was that segment there. A nice little segment there. Set up the story with MJF Jericho versus the Young Bucks. So that was pretty nice. That set up the storyline continuation with those two teams. So that was pretty nice there, if you ask me. And then we get a video package showing, hyping up the exploding barbed wire match at Revolution with Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley for the AEW Championship. And then it also features Deathmatch Legend Atsushi Onita. And that was that. And then we get the next match on the card. FTR and Tully Blanchard with J.J. Dillon versus Jurassic Express. We got Big German to Cash and Jay, and then Jungle Boy then locks in the snare trap on Dax. Cash pulls on his hair to the outside and gets a snare trap for his efforts. Jay then Dax's shoe, who slugs Jungle Boy with it. Cover 1-2 kick out. And then fast forwarding this match here, we then got Cash hitting a swinging DDT onto Luchasaurus on the outside. FTR and Tully Blanchard work on Jungle Boy and hit a superplex and frog splash double team. Tully Blanchard work on Jungle Boy and hit a superplex and frog splash double team. Tully slingshot suplexes Marco. Luchasaurus then tail whips Tully. Suddenly, a cameraman then gets involved and uses his camera to clear the way for a spike pile driver. And Tully then covers for the win. And Tully Blanchard and FTR win this matchup here. And then the post-match, we then get the cameraman. We then get the cameraman being revealed to be Shawn Spears. So Shawn Spears, a.k.a. Ty Dillinger, now back on AEW television, which is nice to see. And he's revealed to be the cameraman. And then Arn Anderson then comes out and throws up the floor. And then that was happy to see Shawn Spears match. A decent little match here with FTR and Tully Blanchard and Jurassic Express here. And happy to see Shawn Spears back, man. And interested to see where this goes with Shawn Spears. And then we get Tony Schiavone on the stage. And then he introduces Paul White, a.k.a. The Big Show. The Big Show in AEW. I never thought I'd have to do that every week with AEW. I never thought I'd ever think of that. Never ever thought I'd think of that. And Big Show's still talked about in AEW right now. And just like Adam and I have said for a little while now, and Adam, I don't know if he's still watching, but yeah. But yeah, Big Show now in AEW. Tony Schiavone's on the stage and he introduces Paul White, aka The Big Show. So Paul White, aka The Big Show, then shows up on the ramp. He debuts on AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday on TNT. Paul White says that Tony knew him and he had long hair and a bright future. When Big Show in the late 90s, he was big and he had longer hair. Yep. Big Show then says that he expresses how he is to be on AEW, says the Big Show. Cool to come back to TNT where it all started with him, because Big Show in his early life, he was on TNT and he was a basketball player before he was a professional wrestler in WCW. And then Big Show eventually debuting in WWE at St. Valentine's Day Massacre 1999 with the main event cage match at that pay-per-view. With the main event cage match at pay-per-view with Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin, with Big Show debuting in that during that match in that cage, with Big Show coming up from underneath the ring. One of the greatest debuts with Big Show debuting in WWE in February 1999 at St. Valentine's Day Massacre 1999. One of the greatest debuts in WWE history, in my opinion. Big Show then says he puts the new show, Elevation. He then mentions the new show for AEW called AEW Elevation. Says the Big Show, before saying that there's going to be a major announcement at AEW Revolution in which the company signs a Hall of Fame talent, and it isn't who you think it is, coming Sunday. And that was that. And then Big Show with the segment also wore a t-shirt that said, "No, yes." Love it. Absolutely fucking love it. And then Big Show announces a new signing, Hall of Fame worthy talent, signing with AEW. And Big Show says that's going to be announced tomorrow at AEW Revolution on pay-per-view. And then that was that. Could it be Mauro Ranallo? Maybe. Maybe it's Mauro Ranallo, but it's not going to. But I'm telling you now, it's. But who do I think it's not going to be? It's not going to be CM Punk. CM Punk shot down those rumors. It's not going to be CM Punk. It's not going to be Batista. He also shot down those rumors. It's not going to be Brock Lesnar. If it's Brock Lesnar, I'd be shocked. But then again, AEW doesn't really need Brock Lesnar. It's not going to be John Cena. And AEW doesn't really need John Cena either. Ryback? No, fuck Ryback. Ryback is nowhere near Hall of Fame worthy. Ryback is nothing but the Hall of Shame. That's Ryback. That's where Ryback belongs. And that is Ryback. My God. Imagine Ryback signing with AEW and wrestling Jack Swagger in AEW. I remember Ryback and Jack Swagger fighting on Raw in August 2012 in a match. Ryback doing knee lefts, and Ryback legit fell on his fucking ass. I kid you not. It's on YouTube. Fucking hilarious. Ryback was doing knee lifts on Jack Swagger. He's doing this. And then Ryback legit falls on fucking ass, and I LOL'd so hard, man. I absolutely laughed my ass off. Then that same match, Ryback with a back body drop on Jack Swagger, dropped Swagger right on his fucking head, and Swagger almost fucking died. And Ryback nearly killed Swagger. Swagger could have almost fucking died there because Ryback sucks at fucking wrestling. Ryback to AEW, I hope not. Mark Henry to AEW, I hope not. Bully Ray, no. Tommy Dreamer, hell no. I mean, we got Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer and Busted Show Radio. You want Bully Ray or Tommy Dreamer in AEW? That'd be fucking terrible. Bully Ray or Tommy Dreamer in All Elite Wrestling, that would be fucking. Bully Ray or Tommy Dreamer in All Elite Wrestling, that would be fucking awful. That'd be absolutely fucking awful. Stone Cold Steve Austin, no. The Rock, no. Hulk Hogan, no. Undertaker, no. RVD, if it's RVD, he's not going to move the needle. If it's Christian, and I'm hearing rumors with AEW signing tomorrow at Revolution, I'm hearing it's Christian, according to Dave Meltzer. If it's Christian, he won't move the needle. And I heard rumors Christian contract talks with WWE rumors not long ago with those, and I heard rumors not long ago. Christian contract talks with Christian with WWE contract talks and all. I heard rumors of that. The contract talks, those didn't go through. They didn't work out. The contract talks with WWE and Christian, rumors of that not long ago, those fell through. So Christian could leave WWE for AEW, but if Christian's the signing tomorrow at Revolution, Christian in AEW, he also won't move the needle. Kurt Angle. The guy is retired. He can barely walk. Kurt Angle is finished. If it's Kurt Angle, I will be very, very fucking upset and angry. Kurt Angle is finished. The man is retired. Let the guy be retired. Same thing with Batista. If it's Kurt Angle, he also won't move the needle. Kurt Angle won't move the needle either. If it's revealed to be Kurt Angle, that would be fucking terrible. I hope it's not Kurt Angle. Batista, I mean, it could be, but Batista retired against Triple H at WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium a couple years ago. Let Batista be retired. And let him still do his movies with not the Avengers, but Guardians of the Galaxy. Let Batista do that. Let Batista continue to do that. Let Batista be retired still from professional wrestling. Batista wants to still be retired from wrestling. Let Batista do what he fucking wants. Seriously. So I doubt it's Batista tomorrow at AEW Revolution. I doubt it. Doubt it's Batista. If it's not CM Punk or Brock Lesnar, it's a fail. And it's a big disappointment. If either it's Punk or Lesnar or bust. Punk or Lesnar or miss. Punk or Lesnar or sheer disappointment. I doubt, and honestly, I think we're in disappointment for this signing tomorrow at Revolution. I hope it's not Kurt Angle. I hope it's not RVD. I hope it's not RVD, and I hope it's not Christian. Christian won't move the needle for AEW. RVD won't move the needle for AEW, and Kurt Angle won't move the needle for AEW. Kurt Angle is retired, and he can barely move and walk. Kurt Angle's 50 years old. Kurt Angle is an old, washed-up husband, and I love Kurt Angle, but the guy is, I love Kurt Angle, but the guy is finished. Kurt Angle is finished. Kurt Angle with AEW, I hope not. I fucking hope not. So then we got the next match with Dynamite this past Wednesday night on TNT. AEW Women's World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals. Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero versus Ryo Mizunami. We had this match here. We had Ryo clotheslining Rose and covers for a fall attempt. We got Rose getting the better with a jumping senton for a pin. With a jumping senton for a pin attempt of her own. Nyla Rose then chokes Ryo on the bottom. But then we go to picture at commercial break as Nyla makes a cover. Back in the break, Nyla Rose lays a body slam. Rose then goes for a swanton, but Ryo moves. Fast forwarding this match, we then get Nyla Rose hitting her diving knee drop up from the top and covers, but Ryo kicks out. Vicky Guerrero and her obnoxious screaming. Vicky then screams in anger. Vicky Guerrero and her obnoxious screaming, which I can't stand. Ryo then hits Nyla with an exploder suplex. Ryo then climbs up top, but Nyla gets to her feet and slugs Ryo before giving her a superplex. Nyla Rose then crawls on top and gets a 2 count. German suplex by Ryo. Big spear. Then Ryo drags Nyla over and climbs up top. Guillotine leg drop by Ryo and Nyla Rose. And Ryo Mizunami gets the 1-2-3 and wins the Women's Eliminator Tournament. And at Revolution, we're going to get Ryo Mizunami at Revolution versus Hikaru Shida at Revolution for the AEW Women's Championship. Nice little match here in this Women's Eliminator Tournament. It's been good, and I thought it was a success, and this was some good stuff here with the Women's Eliminator Tournament here. And Hikaru Shida, I expect her to retain. And in fact, Britt Baker was my favorite to win the Women's Eliminator Tournament, but Nyla Rose beat Britt Baker. Maybe there's a reason for that. I expect Hikaru Shida to retain the women's title tomorrow at Revolution, and perhaps they give Hikaru Shida a year-long title reign with that AEW Women's title before dropping it to Britt Baker. Maybe that's what they do, and I would not not mind that at all. So I would expect Hikaru Shida to retain the AEW Women's title tomorrow at AEW Revolution. And then the next thing happened on the show. Tony Schiavone then introduces Sting. Snowfalls and out comes Stinger. Tony knows Sting is prepared for the street fight on Sunday. Sting found out the hard way he wasn't ready. He wants to thank Cage for that powerbomb because it shook off all the rust. He wants to thank Brian Cage because he's ready for a street fight. Then out comes Ricky Starks. He comes out and says he saw some fire in Sting. He also saw that Sting still has it. He still stands by what he says, and that he's not an icon, and that he's not icon. He slaps Sting, and then Sting attacks him, and Stinger splashes the shoes off of Ricky Starks. He then locks in the Scorpion Deathlock. Ricky Starks is in pain, and Hobbs pulls off Ricky's hand, break it all up. They attack Sting, but then out comes Star Beyond after Brian Cage then jumps in on the action. Stinger splashes him too, and then Team Taz then bails, and then that was that. And then we get the next match, Face of the Revolution qualifying match. 10 with -1 versus Max Caster. And then we had Scorpio Sky on commentary for this match as well. We had 10 rolling Max up quick for a near fall. Big diving crossbody by 10 to Max. We then get a big back body drop to Caster before 10 hits a spine buster big time. He then spears Caster from the apron to the ring and gets a cover for a near fall. Caster then catches 10 with a snap bear and an arm wrench. Brainbuster by Caster. Climbs up top and goes for the claim to fame. But 10 rolls free. Caster boots 10 in the corner, but 10 catches him with a power bomb. Caster puts his boot on the ropes. Caster distracts the ref, and suddenly out comes Jack Evans with a boombox and slugs him with it. Max covers for the win, and Max Caster defeats 10 with -1. And Max Master qualifies for the Face Revolution ladder match at AEW Revolution. And then post-match, we then get Matt coming out and hands Evans an envelope with $4,200 on it. They all walk out together. Then we got Miro cutting a promo to hype his tag match with Kip Sabian at Revolution against Orange Cassidy and Charles Taylor, which should be a decent match, in my opinion. And then that was all of that. And then we get the main event of Dynamite this past Wednesday on TNT. Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn, one half of Private Party, versus John Silver and Hangman Page, with John Silver representing the Dark Order. We got Silver single leg. We got Silver doing a single leg takedown. We got Silver doing a single leg takedown on Quinn. Matt Hardy grabs John Silver in the kidneys as Quinn tags in Matt Hardy. He works on the ribs of John Silver. Hangman then charges in and Matt shoves Silver into him. John embraces Hangman before he takes it to Mark Quinn, and then we cut to the break. And back from the break, Matt and Mark then make sure Silver hits spine first on the apron with a side effect. Hardy beats him up on the outside before sending him in for a near fall. Quinn and Matt Hardy then isolate John Silver in their corner. Big body slam by Mark Quinn. Matt Hardy climbs up top, but only leaps off to get kicked in the gut. John crawls towards Hangman Page, but Matt tries to stop his progress. John Silver hits a sliced bread on Matt Hardy, which looked really nice. Hangman Page then gets a tag, and so does Mark Quinn. Hangman takes it to Quinn and hits a Simon Spinebuster. Quinn inadvertently hits Matt Hardy. Fall away to Quinn, and then he dives on Matt Hardy on the outside. Adam Page then slides back in, but Quinn stomps away DVD hit by Hangman Page. Hangman Page then tosses Mark Quinn to his own corner and prompts him to make the tag to Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy then drops from the apron and rolls Mark Quinn back in. Quinn fights back and kicks Adam Page in the kneecap. Hardy then gets a tag and singles for a twist of fate. It's Matt Hardy. Hangman avoids it and clears Mark Quinn of the premises. Silver gets the tag and tags in. Silver then gets tagged in and then takes it to Matt Hardy with kicks and a flush buster. And a flush brainbuster near fall, though. However, Silver then gets guillotined by Quinn on the top. And Hardy hits a back suplex. Big shotgun drop kick to John Silver. Silver does tag in Hangman and the two double team Quinn until Hangman hits his buckshot lariat for the victory. Matt Hardy then once more drops from the apron. And Hangman Page and John Silver won this tag team match with the main event of Dynamite this past Wednesday on TNT. And then post-match, Matt Hardy then attacks John Silver and Hangman and then says this was all a stuff. He's going to take out Hangman in the Dark Order. And then everybody run out from the tag Battle Royal and the show ends in chaos, which then they have all the Battle Royal participants then end the show with a big brawl with all the teams in the Battle Royal, then storming to the ring and brawling with each other, which was just chaos. It's like giving some of that, which was ended chaoticness. The Dynamite ends in chaoticness, and that was Dynamite. A really good show, and a good go home show. This is a decent good go home show. This is a good go home show, if you ask me. And I'm excited for Revolution tomorrow. Should be a good pay-per-view. So that is that. And that's all I got to say on that. Dynamite good as always and a good go-home show this past Wednesday with Dynamite. And I'm excited for Revolution. It should be decent. Hopefully it delivers, and I'm sure it will. But Dynamite Wednesday night, a good show. Definitely a good show with Dynamite this past Wednesday on TNT. And that is that for the Dynamite review from this past Wednesday on TNT on March the 3rd of 2021. And now quickly, the final part of this very video right here. The preview predictions for AEW Revolution 2021. We're going to go over my preview predictions for the match card for tomorrow night. We're going to go over that real quick right here, right now. And I'm taking a quick drink before I do this. We're going to go over the match card real quick, who I think is winning, etc. We're gonna go over all of that real quick before I get the hell out of here. And there we go. Another drink, backup drink. So AEW Revolution 2021 match card. We got the pre-show match, Rio and Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker and DM versus Dr. Britt Baker and Rebel women's tag team match. Thunder Rosa and Dr. Britt Baker feuding as of late on Dynamite. Rio involved with and Rebel involved as well. Rio back as well. Rio recently returning to Dynamite as well. I'm picking Britt Baker and Rebel to win because Hikaru Shida and Ryo Mizunami for the AEW Women's title. I expect Hikaru Shida to retain here, and Hikaru Shida should retain. And I think Britt Baker and Rebel win this women's tag match on the pre-show. And then Hikaru Shida retains the women's title tomorrow night at Revolution, setting up possibly Britt Baker and Shida and Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's title, possibly for Double or Nothing for AEW this May. So I think that's probably where they're going. So I'm going with Britt Baker and Rebel to win the women's tag match on the pre-show. So the women's tag team match on the pre-show, I think I'm going with Britt Baker and I'm going with Britt Baker and Rebel. Then with the next match on the show, AEW Women's Title match, AEW Women's World Championship match, Hikaru Shida versus Ryo Mizunami. I know Mizunami won the Women's Eliminator tournament, but this match here, but Mizunami, she's not winning the title. She is retaining, and she should. No, like Hikaru Shida, like with Hikaru Shida, no reason to take the title off her. But Hikaru Shida's going to retain, but Mizunami's going to look really good in this match, and she's going to look good in the loss. And this is going to be a really good match here tomorrow at Revolution with Mizunami and Shida. This is going to be really good here. And I'm picking Hikaru Shida to retain the AEW Women's title, as she should. No reason to take the title off of Hikaru Shida. I think Hikaru Shida is retaining here, and then when we get the Double or Nothing this May, I think we get the women's title match with Shida and Britt Baker with the women's title line this May at Double or Nothing. And I think then that's when you take the title off Shida. And then that's when I think at that time you then give it to Britt Baker. I think that's where they go. So I'm picking Britt Baker and Rebel to win, and I'm picking Hikaru Shida to win. And then the next match, Street Fight, Team Taz. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks with Taz versus Darby Allin and Sting. This all started when Sting debuted in AEW in December of 2020. And then when Sting came to AEW, Darby Allin saying that Sting is his inspiration and all. And Sting and Darby Allin feuding with Team Taz as of late on Dynamite and all. Street Fight should be really good, if you ask me. This will probably be one of the in the Street Fight here. Don't sleep on this match here. This match will probably be one of the best matches of the night tomorrow night at Revolution. Probably one of the best matches. This match will probably be one of the best matches on the show tomorrow at Revolution. Probably, but I think Darby Allin and Sting win this thing, as they should. It's Sting's first match back on wrestling. Sting and Darby Allin should win. So I'm picking Darby Allin and Sting to win this match. And then we got the tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team titles. The Young Bucks versus the Inner Circle of Chris Jericho and MJF with Wardlow. Young Bucks should win and retain. No reason to take the titles off Young Bucks. MJF and Jericho, I like them, but I don't think they should win here. MJF and Chris Jericho will look good in this match, but they shouldn't win. Young Bucks should win. And I feel like if you take the titles off the Young Bucks, I think it's a mistake. Young Bucks, not only should they get not like the Young Bucks, not only should they get their payback here against Jericho and MJF, but Young Bucks should also retain. No reason to take the titles off Young Bucks. Just like with Hikaru Shida, no reason to take the title off Hikaru Shida, and no reason to take the title, and no reason to take the titles off of the Young Bucks. I'm going with the Young Bucks to retain. And then the next match, big money match, Hangman Adam Page versus Big Money Matt Hardy, with the winner receiving the losers 2021 first quarter earnings. Who do I think wins this match? With this stipulation, I'm picking Matt Hardy. I think Matt Hardy and Adam Page. I think we could see this match again at Double or Nothing, but this time with Adam Page winning the feud. I think at Double or Nothing this May. I think that's probably where they go. Matt Hardy, I could see probably winning this match, and then we do this match, and then they probably do the match again at Double or Nothing in May, and then that's when Adam Page wins, and Adam Page wins the feud, and then with All Out this August, AEW World Title, Kenny Omega versus Adam Page, where Adam Page beats Kenny Omega for the AEW World Title. That's probably what I'll go with. So I'm picking Matt Hardy to win this thing, I'm picking Matt Hardy to beat Adam Page. And I think Matt Hardy is going to receive Adam Page's 2021 first quarter earnings with this big money match stipulation for this matchup here. I'm picking Matt Hardy to beat Adam Page. Then the next match, Face of the Revolution ladder match for future AEW TNT Championship match. Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson versus Scorpio Sky versus Pentagon Jr. versus Lance Archer with Jake Roberts versus Max Caster versus to be announced. Probably, I don't know who it could be. I have no idea. Maybe be Okada. I don't know about Okada. Maybe RVD. I have no idea. Let me know what you guys think on that in the comment section. It can't be the mystery one. Because you're showing up your first night for AEW, it's like you're receiving the title. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Max Caster, no. Pentagon Jr., no. Cody Rhodes, though wouldn't mind it, but we've seen it. Scorpio Sky, though he's good at what he does. Lance Archer. I'm picking either Lance Archer or Scorpio Sky to win this ladder match. And the Face Revolution ladder match should be very good. It's one of the matches I'm looking forward to for tomorrow night. Revolution should be some really good stuff here. I gotta pick Lance Archer here. I'm picking Lance Archer. I'm gonna pick Lance Archer. If I'm picking Scorpio Sky, if he doesn't win, then it's Lance Archer. But at the end of the day, if I had to choose one, I'm picking Lance Archer. But if Scorpio Sky wins, I would not be mad at that at all. So that's my prediction on that. And then we got the Casino Tag Team Battle Royale for a future AEW World Tag Title match with the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. Who do I think wins here? I could see the inner circle of Santana Ortiz. I could see them winning. And it plays into the story, so I'm going Santana Ortiz. Saito brothers are not winning. Dark Order is not winning because Young Bucks, supposedly babyfaces now, feuding with MJF and Jericho of the inner circle, right? Feuding with MJF and Jericho right now. So it's not going to be Young Bucks should retain the tag titles tomorrow Revolution. Young Bucks should retain the tag titles tomorrow Revolution and all as well. So the Saito brothers are not winning. Dark Order's not winning. Gun Club's not winning. The Pretty Picture's not going to win. Sokol Uncensored, they could win. I would not if they won. If Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian, if they won, I would not mind that at all. Natural Nightmares, QT Marshall and Dustin Rhodes. I mean, they could win. Varsity Blondes, I think they have a chance. Jurassic Express, maybe. Varsity Blondes, I think they have a chance. Jurassic Express, maybe. Dark Order, no. Death Triangle, maybe. I mean, I don't know. They probably won't. I'd be shocked if they do. Private Party, I'm picking either I'm either picking Private Party or Santana and Ortiz. Those who I'm picking. If not, I'm picking originally Santana Ortiz. If it's not them, then Private Party of Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. So that's my prediction on that with that match. And then we got the next matchup. Hold on. Oh, here we go. And then the next match, tag team match Miro and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Who do I pick to win this? Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. And this should probably be the end of their feud as well. I think it should be as well. Miro should be on his own in AEW fighting for a TNT title or AEW World title and Dynamite. Miro should be doing that for Dynamite and AEW. Miro should be doing that right now instead of tagging with Kip Sabian right now, in my opinion. So Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor, I'm picking them to win. And Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor should get their payback, and this should be the end of their feud. And I think Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor, I think they should win this tag match. I think Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor should win this match. And that's my prediction on that. I'm going with Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor to win this tag team match. Should be decent, but I'm picking Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor to win this thing. And then the main event, exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW World Championship. The Cleaner, Kenny Omega with Don Callis versus Jon Moxley, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose. These two have history for months now, ages now in AEW. And they fought in 2019, which was good. This should be no different. Especially with the stipulation that barbed wire death match should be some really good stuff. And I know there's some people out there, oh, the barbed wire match is too violent. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening at all, man. Aww. But it should be a last man standing match, man. They could do that, but I mean, listen, if you want to do a barbed wire match, as long as both guys are careful, then so be it. So be it. That's all I got to say on that. But Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, I'm picking Kenny Omega. I like Jon Moxley, but Omega's not losing. Omega's losing that title to Adam Page this August at All Out. That's my take on that. This should be a very good main event here for Revolution tomorrow. This should be really good with Omega and Moxley, but I'm picking Kenny Omega to retain and still be the AEW World Champion. I'm picking Kenny Omega to beat Jon Moxley. And that is that for AEW Revolution preview predictions for AEW Revolution 2021. And that is that for the reviews for NXT UK, and NXT and AEW Dynamite. And that's the reviews for all those for this past week. And that is that. That is and all that. And that is that, folks. Follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579. Follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. Instagram and Facebook. Follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiori.31. Add me as a friend on Facebook if you like. And be sure to hit that like button as well, guys. Be sure to hit the subscribe button as well. If you've not done so already, make sure you subscribe to the Furious Nation YouTube channel if you've not done so already, guys. And also be sure to hit that bell for all notifications. And be sure to hit that bell for all notifications. Smash that subscribe button. Smash the like button. Smash that and hit that bell for all notifications. So you're notified whenever I'm uploading videos for the channel to YouTube publicly. So subscribe to the Furious Nation YouTube channel. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And be sure to hit that like button on this very video as well, guys. And that is that, folks. And that is a wrap, folks. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Hope you guys liked this video and enjoyed the video and had a good time with the video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Greatly appreciate it. And I always appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for joining me. Really greatly appreciate it. And again, thank you guys so much for joining me. And don't know what to say anymore after that, but really appreciate you guys. And yeah, and thank you so much for joining me here for this video here and all for the channel. And really appreciate it. And no saying it like a broken record, but just very, very appreciative with and all, and very appreciative of you guys, and always appreciate you guys and all. And I will always appreciate you guys, and thank you all. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me for the video. Thank you guys. And I will see you next time. Right here in the channel for more good content right here in the channel. Expect Raw and SmackDown review to be up sometime on YouTube tomorrow. And I'll see you next time right here in the channel for more good content right here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again. And I'll see you next time right here in the channel for more good content right in the channel. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace. Talk to you guys later.